And here we are. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of TorisuTalks, hosted by yours truly, Detective of the Century, Tori Adler. And joining me tonight are...
You know, I'm eating something like white, thick, starts with C. And guess what it is?
our dear friend here, Solarisu, obviously.
It's not cum.
I swear
I
to
wish
God,
it was cum.
you will
really
never,
wish it was cum.
you will never start one of these properly, will you? It is. I mean, it's not upon me for like.
Let him cook. Right, if he wants to eat cum before starting the stream,
It's not the cum thing. It's I don't care if you're eating cum. All right, I don't fucking care if you're eating cum, if you're drinking piss, if you're like chewing on a shoe. The thing is, every single time we start these podcasts off, you just absolutely. I say like, okay, hi, I'm Risu. I'm here. Wait, no, I'm Tori. I'm here. I'm about to start the stream, and Risu's just either staying silent or completely, or he's eating cum.
Let him use cum.
It's okay. I wish it was cum.
Is it yours?
But it's not.
Would it be yours?
It's technically mine, yes. But
Okay.
it's not cum. It's actually no, it's my brother's. It's not mine.
Ayo,
yeah,
it's
it's,
Sweet Home Alabama.
It's just a coconut.
What?
You absolute fucking buffoon.
It's just a coconut.
Anyway,
It's not cum. Cum would have been better.
joining me here is the most star in the Solarisu.
Yeah, hello! It's the most faithful star in the universe. Solarisu des, the Omo.
And also joining us tonight for this very
Stefan.
episode. All
I
right.
guess it's Stefan.
Yeah, I guess we will wait. So how's the cum?
Yeah, the coconut's great. White fleshy interior. You know, if you were to carve someone out like this and eat them with a spoon, I think you'd be screaming.
Yeah, I would think you were a criminal.
I'm pretty sure they would scream. Yeah.
You know what? That's fair. You know what else is fair?
Yeah.
Being a criminal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty fair.
No,
They're
but
doing crimes and stuff.
yeah, crimes are pretty. I'm gonna get TOS for this, aren't I?
It's your channel, so it's okay.
It's the reckless abandon. It's just reckless abandon. No, okay, but all right. You know what? While our guest is away, Risu, you're not you're not very good at Chinese.
Nope.
But are you gonna celebrate Chinese New Year? Any plans? Any?
Hong Bao Na Lai. There we go. I did my part.
You pronounce all four of those correctly, but the intonations were like 4 out of 4 wrong. I don't know how you survived this long as an Asian. Like as an Asian.
I can do better. Hong Bao Na Lai. There we go.
That was slightly.
Nailed it.
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. That was better than your last one. Can't lie. It's not in my
Bing
blood.
chilling. That's the only one I know. Bing chilling.
You know that if John Cena's the one saying it,
Chilling.
it's probably not that accurate.
I'm talking about. He's John Cena. Yeah, he eyes Bing chilling.
The eyes been chilling. They don't
eyes Bing chilling.
they don't use Happy Chinese New Year, Luna. They don't use the S in like after fucking verbs.
I don't care. It's ching chong. Like, why the hell would I care about being grammatically? How could you be grammatically wrong in Chinese? There's no such thing.
I'm not even gonna fight you on that one. God damn. Not a hill I'm willing to die on today. You know what? It's a hill I'm willing to die on today.
What?
Keyboard drama, and being a keyboard warrior. So joining us today, since he is not back, I will have to introduce him myself, is Dena VT, also known as the cyber oni who builds keyboards and is generally very cool and known for building keyboards and absolutely nothing else.
Oh, great keyboard con. I mean, he's done some cosplays.
Yeah. And absolutely nothing. Nah. If anything, you're the one who's like running on a Wooting 60HE.
I saw a cool video about the cool features. I bought the keyboard and then used none of them.
At all?
Okay, that's not true. I used one.
It's the Hall effect one, right? Like the distance.
No, the one where if you press, you get a different keystroke if you press it or you hold it.
Oh wait. Oh, how do you use that? How do you use that, like, personally? This video is not sponsored, by the way.
In Hunt Showdown, normally your jump and vault key are tied together, but you can bind them separately, right? There are some really specific spots on certain maps where you can jump like on the window sill and use that to jump into something higher places. So I bind it so that if I tap once, I do a jump. If I hold it, I do a vault. By binding space to tap and then the key N to vault. And pressing so that when I hold space, it keys an N. It's not that hard. I'm pretty sure most other keyboards can do this too, but this is literally only... Oh, that and rapid trigger. Rapid trigger is awesome. Rapid trigger is the best. I know how I live without rapid trigger. And to be fair, I don't use it as much as I thought I would. I mostly trigger it on accident, so that's nice.
Sorry, what was that? I
trigger?
just woke up.
Rapid trigger is
Yeah.
when you basically you know how your keyboard inputs a signal, right?
Yeah.
But you press down all the way until you pass a certain point, and that registers as a keystroke.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to lift all the way up, and then you have to press down all the way again.
Mm-hmm.
For rapid trigger, it basically makes it so that as long as you start the movement up, it will cancel that keystroke. So it's a bit faster.
So
Quite a very little bit faster. But allows you to spam more.
Hmm?
Because you don't need to reset the thing all the way or pull it up all the way.
yeah.
But yeah, when I first got this keyboard, I first started using it. I just kept like accidentally, hitting keys over and over again because it's way too sensitive. I still randomly hit keys, but not as much as before. And now whenever I type, I mistype like half the words.
Sorry, what was
Yeah, pretty good
that? I just woke up. What happened?
Very good keyboard, 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
So what Risu's
It's also
referring
nice
to?
that the Hall effect like switches. Like, you know, mechanical keyboards are like commonly known to be like ridiculously durable.
Yeah.
But Hall effect switches, because they're just magnets, they're even more durable. They essentially are unkillable. It's just a magnet. You can't wear a magnet, you know, the same way you wear like a
No,
spring.
well, theoretically you can wear a magnet.
You can, but it'll take a hell of a lot longer. I would die before this keyboard stops working, you know.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Oh, I got an announcement. I'm going back to school.
Oh, you are?
Woo!
Shit! Hey, let's
Yeah.
go. Yo, where, when, how, where, when,
So,
Why and
like
also
Steve Jobs, right? Like Steve Jobs, I dropped out of school. Like Steve Jobs, all right?
Mhm.
Because I was too good for the course, all right? I was like, I can spend my time better. I failed. I failed like 4 courses in a row, and then they
Yeah.
kicked me out. Like Steve Jobs.
You want to talk about that more?
Nah, it's fine. Don't worry too much about it. But yeah, I think I went, yeah, coding's not for me. And so I think I signed up for, you call it? I'm chewing on the gum here.
Coconut.
Coconut, sorry.
No, actually no. You know what? Call it calm. It's more entertaining. I can clickbait. I can clickbait this shit.
Oh yeah, it was a. I have the paper here. I have the paper right here. Never mind. It doesn't. It doesn't write down why I selected. I don't know. It was some course in some sort of healthcare management.
What?
So, yeah. And if not, if all else fails, I can just become a nurse. Because we got old people to take care of.
Please tell me which hospital you work in the future so I can expressly avoid that hospital.
All of them. At the same time. If you come to me, I can forcefully abort your child for you.
I don't have a
Doesn't
child.
matter if it's past the 3rd trimester or the 4th trimester or the 5th, 6th, 7th. It doesn't really matter. I
think
can
they-
abort your child for
I
you.
think they stopped calling it an abortion at some point and they start calling it like assassination. I mean, they both start with an A and they both have like 3 or more syllables, so I doubt you understand the difference, but still.
Not a nurse, but
Yet?
like, what do you call that? A nurse is a bad way to put it, but it's more like healthcare services. I don't know what it is. It's some weird diploma. I can go look it up.
I want to see you become like a paramedic.
I wouldn't mind becoming a nurse though, but I might not qualify because my back's really fucked up and I can't carry shit.
Your back's fucked up?
I told you about this before, right? My
That's your back?
my spine.
Oh yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
like-
Scoliosis.
Yeah, scoliosis. It's pretty mild.
Yeah.
It's not like severe or anything.
Which also surprises me that you know what scoliosis is, given it's more than 3 syllables and starts with an S.
No, I call it like pancreatitis all the time or something. I don't know what the other one is. Or osteoporosis. I don't know.
Pancreatitis? Where did that come from?
I have leukemia. At least I think that's what's called. I don't know. It's more than 3 syllables.
Leukemia? Isn't that like lack of bone marrow or some shit? Like your bone marrow is like fucked up.
I'm pretty sure it just means I can shoot webs out of my fingers.
No, they call that getting bitten by a radioactive spider.
Oh yeah, dysentery. Yeah.
Dysentery.
Yeah.
I gotta search that shit up.
And also epilepsy, and I'm allergic to water, air, the sun. Okay, the sun thing's not actually real.
It's not?
Sunlight.
Damn, I thought I could pull like one of those JoJo scenes, just like break a hole in the wall and just like let the sun come in. It's like vanilla ice.
Oddly enough, I went to one of those things where you get tested for allergies. They say I have a sun allergy.
You have a sun allergy?
I don't know what that means.
But you're like the closest to the fucking sun among all of us.
That is true.
We'll
I
talk.
am partially in space.
I can't
Which
believe
have necrosis as well.
necrosis. Shit.
And
Which part?
athlete's foot. And
Wait. Okay. Hold the up a second a sec.
yeah.
Every single one I can accept. But athlete's food, you're not an athlete.
Oh shit, you caught me there.
I haven't seen you do a single active exercise in my life.
Oh no. Wait, have you not been for the Ring Fit streams?
Ring Fit doesn't count because playing Ring Fit
Oh, those
doesn't.
are coming back, by the way. I managed to get my Switch working.
Oh shit, let's
I did
go.
Mario Kart. I got a Mario Kart stream the other day. That was a pretty fun stream.
Ring Fit
so yeah,
doesn't count. If
expect
you
Ring
play
Fit
if you
too.
play Ring Fit, you're not an athlete, you're a gamer. And gamers don't touch grass.
Exactly. Just why else would I play Ring Fit? No.
You know what? That's fair. So Zeno's having a bit of an issue right now, so we're gonna need to wait for some more, but while we're waiting, I think we can talk
I need to
about.
share him some of my cum.
You could.
Zena, you want some cum?
I think he's gonna say no.
I'm gonna
Because
scoop it out for you. Put it in a nice spoon. It's all so jelly like.
wait, do you ever hear about that fucking like recipe book for like cocktails and shit?
Oh yeah. Sounds awesome.
Like it just slowly devolves from like tasteful to put cum in your drinks. Do it. Fucking
Yeah.
do it.
Sounds like great. Sounds like that one teacher that put cum in his cookies.
Yeah, the Glub
was
Glub
that?
3000. I love the Glub Glub 3000. You like the Glub Glub 3000. Actually, no, you don't. At least I don't think you do.
It's all done.
Already?
All the cum's gone. Hey, all the cum.
You ate all the nah, shit. I still have like grilled dumplings and shit. Unfortunately, we're quite a bit into like the podcast, but Zena is still dealing with some technical difficulties. So while he's still away, do you want to talk about how you usually like celebrate your Chinese New Year?
We say the 16 words to my parents.
恭喜发财，红包拿来，没有红包给我滚开. Yeah, that's 16. All right. Please don't actually say that to your parents. I'm fucking begging you. You will get kicked out. You will get kicked out of your space colony. At least I think that
Is it called the 16 words?
16 words.
No, I forgot. What is it? Is it 18 words? Oh no, it's the 14 words.
14 words.
Yeah.
What? What kind of 14 words are you saying? To like your. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's just go to your parents and say the 14 words. you
What 14 words? What are you talking about?
know? Don't Google the 14 words.
I'm gonna Google the 14 words.
Don't Google the 14 words. Don't Google the 14
Oh my fucking god.
I told you not to Google the 14 words.
I don't want to. You are an absolute fucking menace. Have I ever told you that? You're a menace. God damn, you are a menace.
Yeah, just go to your parents, tell them, I don't know, what was it again? Oh yeah, Hong Bao Na
恭喜发财，红包拿来.
Yeah, that one, yeah. And then you rob them blind. Then they robbed me blind by taking all my ang pao money each year.
Oh
And
shit.
not letting me keep any of it. Except the ones that specifically from like 3 people.
Have you tried just like keeping the ang pao a secret?
Well, you see, there's 3 of us, and so usually when we are given ang paos, it's given to all 3 of us, and it's really hard for all 3 of us to hide it. So we just give it to mom.
So
Or
couldn't
that, and she rations it among us later.
Among Us,
Among us, among us,
Among Us, sus.
among us, us,
Someone
Sus.
Among Us.
us, among us.
All right, yeah, I can't. I don't think I want to clip that.
Have you seen, you know what Poland ball is?
Mhm. Like the
So
little ball,
every
right?
year,
Uh-huh.
Poland Ball makes a new world map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could take a look through it. It's pretty interesting.
Sure. Give me a second.
Here you go.
I gotta edit
Let me
the.
go find the link.
I gotta edit some
The
stuff.
Poland Ball map for 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty funny joke running around the Poland Ball subreddit right now.
Uh-huh.
Of
Okay,
Canada
sorry, there was
Oh
going
shit!
through.
There
Oh,
we go.
some urgent things. My apologies.
All right, welcome back, welcome back. So finally, we can get our guest introduction underway.
Yeah. So just
Welcome, welcome. Today we have Solar Risu of the Risu Galaxy, and
Iris Dayo.
and we have Zena VT Cyberoni, who is known for building keyboards and absolutely nothing. Yeah, nah, I'm just kidding.
yeah, basically that's literally my whole. That's literally my identity.
It's his brand, guys. The keyboard Oni.
Keyboard, that's fair. Right, okay. But also play some shooting games that are incredibly good at shooting games, and also
Sometimes good.
Yeah, I mean he's like gold in Overwatch. That's pretty good.
You diamond.
And he's really good, guys. I'm just a bronze. I'm just an iron tree.
I'm just average. About it.
He's a gamer, guys.
we are finally ready to go underway with our talk about keyboards, warriors, keyboard warriors.
Yes.
Keyboards?
Let's talk keybs. What do you have for us today, Zeta, our special reporter, coming in from the keyboard mecca?
So they want me to talk about drama in this. Oh, there's a lot of it in this keyboard space. I'll say.
Yeah, supporting us live right from Mecca.store.
Okay, so I don't know what we even talk about drama wise, but okay, I can probably divide the keyboard dramas off into two main categories where it's group buys that went haywire as well as just general drama.
Oh god, good boys.
Yeah,
Before-
so if you don't know what a group buy is, I'll just kind of explain. A group buy is essentially happens when vendors, not vendors, when an individual has an idea, but you can't really make something for yourself. Most factories don't do that. So you will essentially gather people who share the same idea or the same interest in a project. You have to get together. You have to pile your money and you put an order out to the factory and then you get it made. So it's like a group buy because a bunch of people are buying things together. As a group buy. So group buys has been kind of like a staple part in this hobby for a very, very long time. Since 2008 with the release of the original KMac, it's always been kind of a thing in the hobby. Group buys for a lot of things, keyboards especially, but something like keycaps, switches sometimes, and other things lah, accessories, that kind of stuff. So it's more or less a staple in this hobby.
But why?
Because everybody has a lot of people in the space have their own kind of ideas for a keyboard, either as a design or a certain color or whatnot lah. But because this is a lot of it is by the community for the community. It's there's no like mass manufacture big like companies making stuff. Not like now lah. Now there's a lot of vendors that does this, but back then even to now there's a lot of project ideas that maybe won't really get the reach of a certain consumer product. So what they'll do is that they'll run through group buys in order to get the idea of the project made lah, essentially. So it's just been a thing. It's just been a thing for long. But because essentially group buys, you're taking your money and giving it to a stranger. It's bound for some disasters here and there. So yeah. So generally, there's two main ways that group buys are ran. You either do it by individual or you do it by vendors. So let's take a keycap group buy. So those are normally run through vendors because the minimum order quantity of those MOQ usually are quite high. So you want reach for this project. So let's say you want to make a GMK set. So normally you will come up with the idea.
GMK?
I don't even know what GMK stands for. To be honest.
Wow,
Great
GMK.
Great
is a
makan
Makan.
Great Malay King.
It stands for Gunther, Meinhard, and Kredler, who
What the
are
heck?
original founders of a company that make luxury keycaps for mechanical keyboards.
Luxury. Naruhodo.
GMKs are, well, luxury, yes, because most of them are considered to be the end game or like just
End
really
game?
high quality products.
There's a
keyboards.
game with keyboards?
Oh boy. Oh man. Okay, so there's
Do people like take their keyboards out and then they try to hit each other with it?
So
The keyboard that survived, is it keyboard battle royale? Is there a keyboard battle royale?
there is
there is typing test battle
Oh
royale.
yeah,
my
it's called
God.
Reddit.
JP is founded by these three guys. They do a lot of like electronics, but they're mostly known for their keycaps. So
Naruhodo.
see, GMK actually owns the original tooling for Cherry's keycaps since for quite a while. So GMK is the most
Before I was
popular-
born?
like around the like 70s, 80s, I think. So they're the
Oh
ones
god,
that-
they must be super old.
So they're kind of the main popular vendor to get your keycaps made, lah. And essentially the official quote unquote
Naruhodo.
tooling. Since a lot of the hobby kind of originates from the vintage stuff, lah, essentially. So yeah, let's say
Naruhodo.
you have a keycaps you want to do. So you will run an interest check. Interest check is basically you go to forums, let's say usually it's Geek Hack, as well as places like Reddit or like nowadays it's social media with like YouTube or Discord. You come up with the idea, you show people, and you kind of drum up hype for it, essentially. And if there is enough hype and the project has been successful, you then run the group buy. You will normally run it through a vendor. So vendors are like many of the shops you might see. So for example, Singapore, we have Item KB, I love my keyboard, Landing Pad, Quiddy Corp, KTEX, Pantheon. They all are vendors. So they kind of operate as like the middleman between the factories and the designer. So normally group buys in this case are ran by usually one main vendor, and then everybody else are considered the proxies. So proxies are acting as the local shipping agents, or the local kind of shipping providers for regions. So let's say you have GMKA, right? So you're set. You have a main vendor. Let's say Candy Keys. Once you've kind of talked to all the vendors, you decided exactly how much you're gonna order, then you'll run the group buy. So once you run the group buy, the main vendor will be the one collating all the orders from the other vendors. Once they calculate all the orders at the end of the group buy, then they'll submit it to the factory to produce. Once the production is done, it's normally shipped back from the factory to the different vendors that ran the group buys. And that's how you run the production numbers now, essentially.
Ah,
You normally this because
that makes sense.
normally the vendors are the ones that have the not the connections per se, but logistics wise, they're the ones that can manage for high volumes of items. Other times group buys are ran individually. This is more for like keyboard projects, for example. So let's say you are a designer and you have a keyboard you want to put out there. So you get up people. Either you'll reach out to streamers or maybe you'll run social media kind of thing. Once you kind of enough people who are willing to join the group buy, you run it. Then you yourself will be the one running everything. So you're talking to the factories, you'll be the one acting as kind of the agent that runs this whole thing. Once the group buy is done, you're the one usually handling all of the shipping and out. So that's the two main ways groups are done, either through a vendor for large quantities of items, or through individuals for say much more niche projects or much smaller stuff. So a lot of the things vendors weren't really a thing. Like vendors running group buys regularly until like about 2019. So it's not just individual person. Sometimes it's just like one shop that just runs the group buy, depending. It really depends on like how many people you need to hit the minimum order quota, how many people will actually be interested in the project and willing to sit and wait. So it depends. So nowadays,
Wait, how long does it take?
it really depends. It really depends. Right now, GMK, probably the most inhibiting with group buys, the one that tends to complain about most is waiting period time. GMK group buys have exploded. So if I remember correctly, in 2018, I think there was 17 sets. In 2019, I think there was like 25. In 2020, apparently there was like 40 something. And 2021, there was like one every week.
Welcome to COVID,
Oh.
baby.
The group buy kind of taken off lah. There was a lot more group buys often because of
Sheesh.
you know, normally last time I remember GMK's turnaround time it was like what 3 or 4 months at one point. Now on average a group buy, if you are running a group buy that is a rerun for example, or you don't need to do what quote unquote color matching, which means let's say you have a custom color you have came up with this for the set, you will need to test the color because GMK essentially has stock colors, right? So stock colors is basically the plastics that they have. They can make the Z color. But let's say you want to do a different shade of pink, for example. So you need to go and essentially JK basically needs to go and test the plastic, test the color mixing to achieve that color effectively, and that can take a
Oh.
while. So like one of the most infamous examples is GMK Dracula. This is a group buy that was supposed to take 11 months, end up taking 26.
Oh my
Because-
god.
Because it had 9 different custom colors, it took a very long time for them to like
Jesus.
find a part where like the colors were accurate. 6 or 7 times in a while. A
That
long
is
time. And it
2
happened
years.
during the COVID period or so. So yeah, it was rough lah. But this is
goddamn.
important because the next color matching is required in order for you to achieve the set color. It's something that's argued a lot in the community whether or not renders about renders versus IRL, because generally renders are just meant to be a proof of concept, but some people just kind of take it as what it is supposed to be, which is normally what happens. Like if the render through a lot of the good group buys, like usually keycaps end up looking like the render or something like that, with the difference between one's a computer generated one, one's the actual product. But there's also a lot of cases where group buys turn to such a disaster that it looks completely off, which leads to probably the first example that I have, and that is GMK Bread, one of the most infamous group buys that happened.
Bread?
GMK Bread. My D keys broke on this keyboard. I need to go fix it. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so do you want me to screen share it, or do you want to?
If you screen share, I'll share it on stream.
Okay, so
Let's
I will
talk
show you.
about GMK Dread.
Bread. Come get that bread.
Oh shit, that bread?
That bread.
Oh god, okay, we got that bread. We about to get it. We about to
Gotta
get that bread.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second, real quick. I'm gonna just pop, I think. Wait, no, come on. Which one is it? Bloody hell.
Bread?
Okay.
Oh, it's in group buy.
Bread?
Yeah, we're getting
GMK
that bread.
Literally bread.
Let's talk about GMK bread.
All right, so this is a group buy that ran by a name called Greg Wast. So
Why
see,
would
this
you
is-
want a bread colored keyboard?
To get that bread, duh.
Yeah,
Oh,
why not?
could it be for a croissant?
What's up?
There's a Jimmy croissant, I think. But
Croissant?
anyway, so yeah, so this is GMK Bread. This was the idea of a guy named Greg Wast, and he worked with I think he's a local, because he worked with Island Bot with this. So this group buy ran back in July 2020, and well, okay. So as you can see, this is what the render looks like. All right. So
Ooh.
imagine the meme of expectation versus reality.
Yeah.
So this is what the render looks like, and this is what the targeted color is supposed to be. Right. So you can see it has this nice lightish brown with this kind of a even lighter brown on
I like the
alpha
bread
space
and the
bar.
key.
Yeah, it's quite nice. It's really also that how the we call them the mod keys. These are the keys with like the shift or control or not. They're one color, but the color matches the alphas, which are like the letters. The letter itself is matching. So it's quite nice. It's quite sitting. Overall, this group buy was pretty successful. Okay, to show you this, we call this color codes. This is usually what's used as reference when you send it to the factory to produce it too, because their color standards are. you know, for the RAW, color codes, Pantone, the kind of thing. This is what's used often to get the colors.
It's like Pantone, but less copyrighted.
Pantone's used sometimes because they're completely different shades, though. Okay, keep that in mind. So, as I said, expectation versus reality. This is the expected. This is the actual picture that came out in the end.
Oh yikes! Oh wait,
Oh.
how's expected one again?
It looks like piss.
This is what it's supposed to look like, and this is what it ended up looking like.
Oh, that looks like
That looks like piss.
it does. It really does.
So this is what happened. Right, this is where things get really.
Why is it so saturated?
We call this incompetence, extreme incompetence. So what happened was that this guy, originally came up with the idea and then tried to go begin his color matching. However, he was pretty stupid, pretty freaking stupid. What he did effectively was he completely messed up the color scheme of ordering.
Just like I'm
So I
messing up.
believe that there is a whole
window
thread
capture
about
right
this.
now.
Let me see if I can find it. It's somewhere in here. Yeah, someone said it's here. It looks like it matches like the Noctua fan.
It kind of does. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Anyway, let me explain.
But it just looked like piss.
Basically, what happened was that during the first round of color matching, they kind of got one of the colors correct. But what happened after that was that in the second round, because the first round didn't match at all, so the second round he actually ended up asking for a shade different. So let's see it. Back in the original example, he said he was going to use RAL 1015 as the alpha. He actually asked for 1014. So that's already one shade completely different.
That's a
Mind you,
typo.
like RAL, I don't know if it's a typo or not because he had the examples in front of him, but he ended up instead of looking at this, he ended up looking at this.
Wait, but that's
complete one color.
but that's REL 1013.
Yeah, I think he asked for 1015. The original idea was 1015. He, for some reason, accidentally went with 1014. I just didn't realize it.
Wait, but that's oh right, okay. Even
Yeah.
1013 would have looked better.
Yeah. So this is where things get even better. So after the first update, he was trying to share with us as a group, and the best thing here is that he mentions Colorcy Go Yuan Cough Toddler's Nightmare. This is another group by the Infinity went really bad because of color matching. Anyway, so he went with this RAL 1015, right? But this is where things get better. So the alpha not only did he choose the wrong color, he took the mod color, which is supposed to be RAL 808. He took it and compared it to Pantone's color scheme instead, which is a completely different color. Alright, so that already is like the what the hell are you doing kind of thing. Like, how do you screw up that? So you didn't even notice using the wrong complete color scheme. He also, one thing he fucked up was asking the community, the people who are running that, for their opinion, where it should be his opinion only. He's the designer after all. He's the one that came up with the idea. He's the one who has the final say. So that's really kind of dumb. Then after that, again, here he's still going 115. Instead, he ended up looking at 101.
Wait,
Shit together.
color matching says Lewis and I have different books. Lewis,
Yeah.
not the YouTuber, right?
No, Lewis, the head of Iron KV.
Okay.
Rossman?
No, different
Okay.
Lewis. Rossman is the one who's intensely passionate about like virtual
So,
keyboards,
right
like
to repair.
iPhones. Right to repair, Bill, guys. Right to repair.
Doing this. They went through some more updates, keep checking, and it's like, oh, you're going fast, fine. And then, the matching in person again is matching all nicely. And that's when he cocks up again. He orders Pantone 1555C for the second samples rather than asking for 1015 in this picture together. As you can see here, these are completely different colors. This is 1015, this is 1550C.
Yeah,
So you really can kind of see where this color matching issue
one
is
looks
going on.
like
Lighter one, and one's like more yellow, right?
no one.
So-
I was gonna say one looks like dough and the other looks like piss.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
One-
don't look at
one
this color.
looks like
It's this color and
Dolan.
this color. So this is like the piss, this is the dough.
Yeah.
So this is where things get even better. Remember, he's the one who publicly said that it's 1015, but he ended up going 1550C for some reason. He compared it. He literally had both colors from him and he still chose wrong. This is where things get even better. He starts arguing about it and people are like, no, it doesn't look wrong. Once again, He's a designer, but he's asking all the people for advice, for their opinions. But he should be the one having the final say. And then he keeps comparing again. See again, another cock up. He originally said 8008 for RAL. He ended up looking at 1545C. He was like, that's the color.
It's the
So
same
company people are so
thing.
colorful.
It's the same thing.
It's a completely different shade. This one and this one's completely different shade.
It's the same
Mind you,
thing.
there was still I think there was close to like 600 orders as well.
One looks like chocolate and the other looks like Risu, would you do the honors?
Unchin.
This is the part where it gets incredible. So someone points out that hey, this guy looks a completely different shade and doesn't look like the original RAW color. Of course, I have this other scheme called TDK. So he looks at it and he's like, yeah, it looks pretty accurate. People are asking him, are you sure it's correct or not? What he does, you know what this absolute chat does? He takes a sample, puts it next to his monitor, and takes a picture and says like, oh yeah, it matches.
Ah, yes. Alright, it is time for me and Risu to come in and do the color comparison
that's
and
a scuffle.
the explanation of how screens work.
And this is what happened in the end. It looks completely wrong.
So the thing about
Sure
computer
incompetence.
monitors, the thing about computer monitors is that unless you calibrate it and have like a real life plate symbol to compare it to, it's never gonna be completely accurate. That's why they have color calibration tools like the Spider 5.
Yeah, I have there is like a more color calibrated mode built into my monitor, but I don't use it because I think it looks way too warm and shit. I prefer my more contrasty one. It makes it easier to play games and stuff,
again,
you know?
This is like one of the most incredibly incompetent rank goodbyes in a while. So
That's
it's
incredible.
insane how this guy managed to completely get it wrong so badly. It's just
It's like doing the
how-
math problem wrong from the very beginning and then getting completely wrong answer. It's
Luna says
incredible.
potato, tomato, same thing. Same thing.
Not when you have I believe that this set had like 600 buy orders, 600 times. The base kit price was 125.
Jeez.
If $75,000 was spent on this group buy, you should have to get it right.
75,000.
Yeah, because it's
Not
like it's like
7,500.
125. I think it's like $125 per USD for the base kit, and then there was at least 600. At least it hit MOQ, which is at least 500. So yeah,
So-
don't worry.
Well, not 7,500. $775,000.
No, 70K, 78. And this is my estimate going off what the pricing was at group buy and how many orders it was. Like,
All
keycaps are
that for
expensive.
piss
Keycaps are
and
really
shit
expensive.
colored keycaps.
Yeah, it's for like it's toilet themed.
Yeah, so this was like one of the most
It's just an
Not,
unwashed toilet.
things that
Oh
happened
my
because of just
God.
how this is similar to certain incidences like Jim K Plum, Jim K Necro, where it's just pure insane incompetence of how this happened. So yeah, this was just incredible to see. It's just like what?
Oh man. Oh yeah, we should get you and Eugene D sometime.
Mhm.
Alright.
Russell.
We should absolutely get Eugene D in on this topic
Yeah.
one
we
day,
should.
right? Alright, you know what? I'm gonna ask
I
him
just
my
want
right
some
fucking-
croissant.
Actually no, I
croissant
think he's still
colored keycaps.
I think he's still on vacation. Fuck.
You can
Okay,
just
then
drag
maybe-
him out. Drag him out.
I'm not
amazing
gonna
thing is
drag
that
him out
even-
of his vacation. That's a dick move.
The amazing thing is
He's in
that-
your basement. What are you talking about? I know he's in your basement.
The only person in my basement is you.
I know. That's why I can see him. He's right there in the other cell.
Bullshit. I segregate that shit for a reason because well, COVID.
Okay, it's just understandable, you know. Gotta get those safety measures, you know, health and safety.
COVID.
The incredible thing is that there's because of this cock up, right, and because it takes so long for this group buy to run, there's no way getting a refund anymore. There's no way you can refund. You've just been like ripped off. And
How
the best
long
thing is
ago?
that he
Yeah.
chose not to communicate on Geekhack. He chose not to inform the customers who bought his group buy, because it's like he just sit on Discord where it's likely gonna be more biased to give him a pass. So him to mess up this badly, yeah. I mean, the rest of the just him it's just people kind of arguing about this and just not saying it anymore. So yeah, it's just incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah. This is one of the best cock-ups I've seen in a long time. But don't worry, it gets worse from here.
Oh
So,
god, that was the good one.
Here's the thing: people have said so. This thing, group buys can take a while. Everybody knows that. Have you ever seen a group buy take 7 years?
Whoa,
I want to
what?
introduce you to possibly the most infamous group buy that GMK group buy happened. GMK Hyperfuse. This is what happens where someone chooses to
Seven
basically chooses to exit scam. Yep. So this person, Bunny Lake, hot off the press after they are already a shit group buy, GMK Toxic, which took 4 years. They at one point was one of the biggest figures in the keyword scene back in like 2015, 2016. So they ran a company called Control.io that ran a lot of group buys and had a lot of these a lot of like old projects went through them. So they were already like one of the most quote unquote reputable people, but after the incident to JK Toxic, because that had a lot of shipping issues, so it ended up taking like 4 years to finish.
God damn.
So because of that they ran GMK Hyperfuse. Hyperfuse was originally a set for another keycap style called TCS, which is made by Simple Plastics. Okay, Signature Plastics. They went around as a GMK set. So that's what they did. So back in 2015, this is January 2015, ran this group by Hyperfuse. So this became one of the fastest, one of the largest sets, I think, of that time.
It doesn't.
Over 1,000 plus.
Honestly, I'm gonna like, of my personal opinion, I don't think it looks that good.
And there's a lot of variations of this. This is the GMK version. There's a remix version and Origins version and a bunch of others. But changing some of the colors around. Some a bit lighter, some a bit darker, the kind of thing. But this was like one of the most hyped sets that I ran.
The ones on the outside, okay, this is personal opinion, alright. But the ones like the blue ones on the outside look fine. The ones in the center look like the missing texture.
Okay, to be honest,
Texture
like the
missing.
pink boxes missing texture.
Should call this GMK Gmod.
This is the actual keycaps in the end. It's a lot nicer looking in person. The render is
I
off.
don't know.
This is just like a test color anyway.
Look, I'm sorry, but
renders.
GMK Gmod for real, for real.
Anyway, so what happened was that they opened group buy for 45 days, and they made MOQ. In fact, they smashed the MOQ and it went off. So
Wait, when did it start?
January 2015.
2015.
The
Oh,
race
The reason why it has
begins.
ended is the way my cool has ended is because well, they kind of disappeared. This vendor disappeared, and like people were like, okay, what is going on right now? Like where's the updates? Where's the keycap set? So this set was produced and began production. Now, apparently, what happened was they suddenly went quiet. There were no updates or nothing. What happened? I'm trying to find to see. There's 120 pages to this whole
oh
forum.
my god.
120 pages.
120.
Right? Even this
Sheesh.
Bread, which has this much drama, only has like what 3. So they kind of vanished. The sets, for one, a standard set. The set had a lot of delays because of climate change. But supposedly, a set was then delivered. The final set was then delivered to them. They're the one that ran this, and they just didn't ship out the sets or something. Something happened. Reportedly, some of the final sets were shipped out to people, but for the most part, people just never received it. I think the best thing is that those people who did ship out a set actually had. I think somebody actually found like the pallet of them and started shipping out bit by bit after years of waiting. And the best thing is that also there was a missing keycap, missing F8. So one guy actually ran an order to go get the replacement F8s from GMK and other stuff. But yeah, they kind of just vanished after 7 years, and some people still haven't gotten their sets to this day. I believe there was a plan for a lawsuit against them because it's again a lot of money just kind of vanished. So no, yeah. The story is kind of all over the place. I'm not too like brought so long by things because of how
Yo,
long it has been.
this is.
Yeah.
They pumped and dumped.
Yeah, they literally just pump and dump. I mean, they even tried to do merch for it as well, which is best.
Literally crypto.
Yeah, they just kind of vanished. Here's the thing. In the end, from what I understand, they did end up. Let me see. They did end up getting set, but basically, yeah, the set just was not never finished. People just didn't receive the set. It was kind of crazy. They just kind of disappeared altogether, like vanished, gone. Set wasn't shipped and whatnot. They even
I'm
had
gonna
the
ping you
samples
to
too.
indeed
Like that. That's
this.
that's the sample. So like whatever the set, they just didn't ship it. They completely vanished from the face of the earth, which then leads to drop. So this is where things get messy. Effectively, Bunny Lake, while they may not be active anymore, they apparently are still helping with another company named Brocaps. Brocaps is one of the most popular.
That's
artisan
such a
makers out there.
terrible name. Who goes? Yeah, should we name our company Bro Cabs, bro? Oh,
Now when you're like literally one of the biggest artisan makers in the space.
Bro
Like
cabs.
that's like their keycaps.
that is one of the weirdest names for a company I've ever
Doesn't matter
heard.
when your keycap resale can easily be $300 a piece.
Have you never
Oh
heard
my
of
God.
Razor? They named themselves after a fucking knife. I don't think anything gets much weirder than naming yourself after a knife.
Livia. It's,
Oh
yeah,
no,
it's
Satan's
kinda
little
sad.
help! Oh god, it's the.
But basically, what happened was, apparently, for instance, that the people still in space was still apparently somewhat active, and behind this broadcast. See, here's the thing: the set is here. They literally have the damn keycaps. They just never shipped the fucking thing. They just never did. It's just like, where did you go? Where are the keycaps? Yeah, it's just like, hello, where is it? And then they like do this whole thing or not. It's there. Look at it. They have it, but they just didn't ship it. Oh, someone's person there. We shouldn't show that.
Quick, blur out their faces in post, Tori. I'm sure
Alright.
you'll do it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Let me know.
kinda amazing.
Let me
They
know
just
the
didn't-
time. 55. Around
Yeah.
55. Okay.
not everything was shipped. It was just like, well, there it is. It's gone. People didn't receive it. So drop comes along, and they were like, hey, so we know this. This thing was a complete mess, and we want to do right for the community. What I decided to do is, why don't we just make the set for ourselves? And that's what they did. Presented to you DCX Hyperfuse. They apparently got in touch with the designer, gotten the rights to design it, and basically made their set in the end through their own profile. And it kind of a check move with Drop, but they actually ended up shipping a set for free to all original joiners of the group buy.
Oh
Because they
shit.
never received the keycaps. So
Drop did that?
Drop did it, yeah, because they
Damn.
got the rights to the keycap set. And
Bruh.
decided to use this to go and try to at least make things up by sending
Now it's in
the
stock.
right now it's in stock, yeah. It sold out last month, but they just restocked it.
Ooh.
I don't plan to eventually
Shit.
want to get the set because it is a very, very pretty. It is like one of my favorite keycap set designs.
It's $99
But, yeah.
like USD. It's not that
I'm
bad.
still not a fan of the white keys.
It's not white lah. It's like a light gray.
Yeah, it's
Whereas
like it's like my
I've seen oranges in person. It's more of a light gray.
it's like my suit, which is light gray and definitely not a shade of yellow.
Yeah.
You pissed on yours.
Fuck you.
It's like yellowish, grayish.
No, they just disappeared.
Ah.
Still not done. So that's where they come in the end, and they were like, "Here,
Hoffman?
that 20 to 30 people didn't get them. Not only that, it was missing F8s or so. So this was just a complete mess. So they got the permission to make it in the DCX profile and decided to add, for all the people who didn't receive set to receive a free set, just to kind of at least try to make up for what happened in the end. However, there was also drama about this, asking, hey, is Bunny actually getting money off this group buy? Because this is technically their design, and like all that stuff. But I didn't end this was one of the worst ranked group buys, not worst one, but like one of the most infamous group buys, and just one. That's kind of why vendors now are considered a lot more trustworthy to run these rather than individuals. So that's kind of what happened in this group buy. This was such a mess in general. It's like disaster. I want to go back again, research this again before I do my. I'm planning a drama tier list, and I want to research this.
Drama tier list.
Oh no joke, I'm still working on it because there's currently 40 entries in it. So yeah, this was bad. This was like quite a disastrous group buy in general, lah. The way everything was handled was just horrendous overall. So yeah, that's keycaps lah. But keyboard group buys are the ones that really go sour. So I'm gonna introduce you to the satisfaction 75.
Oh no, not the
Which is-
satisfaction! Oh god, please!
So satisfaction 75 for many people is one of the best, quote unquote, best keyboards. One thing that made it kind of very popular. This is the keyboard. You may see nowadays, if you know anything about keyboards now, that 75% is all over the place with a knob. This was the board that started it all.
Yo, no,
Oh,
wait,
the
hold on.
knob.
I gotta talk to UGD about this. I think he has the satisfaction. Fuck.
Yeah, this was the. Just not describe. Imagine getting 18 GMK at all. I literally just received 100 back today.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not close. I'm just gonna close my cupboard with like 10 sets inside. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so what made this group buy? This had a lot of drama behind it because of round one, where essentially people tried to sell their slots for this group buy and that became a mess. Even now, this is kind of standard if you don't want to sell it. But then round two was when they introduced the queue system, because this one had a lot of hype behind it. Round two was a lot of insane hype about it. There was apparently over 1,000 plus slots. I think 1,200 slots for this group buy, which for keyboard group buys is a massive amount.
Sheesh.
This sold out in 20 seconds
Sheesh.
because it was botted to hell. They didn't have proper protection against bots, and it was just the drop was just destroyed. It's a complete mess. So
Oh my god, it's...
Next
Yeah, this
thing,
shows why
next
the
thing you're
keyboard hype
telling
is
me,
insane.
the refund page won't have any protection.
No, I mean,
Oh
in the end,
no!
after it's all the mess, in the end, the bot was done, shipped out, blah blah blah, etc. So
Tori knows what I'm talking about.
keyboards, well, keycaps generally group buys. Here's the thing: a lot of keyboard group buys, they do not have a cap. They do have a cap on how many can be ordered.
Mhm.
So the reason is because unlike keycaps, because normally because normally keycaps you queue them through GMK and then normally they pack it for you and send it out to you. But the thing is, keyboard group buys are often ran by vendors and they do it themselves because usually a lot of times the parts are all manufactured in different places. So you may have one factory making the case and another factory doing the analyzation. Another one maybe making, say, the bags, for example, for the keyboard, the packaging. So they have to kind of do everything on the packet.
Well, would the back for the keyboard be made out of canvas?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. No. It's something
Too
altogether.
precious. Canvas is
No,
too
yeah,
precious.
sculpting. People
Tori.
basically sculpt slots with the Section 75. Because during this time was when the hobby began to explode because of Tfue. And this board was already super hyped up. Even more hyped up. Like, I think at one point, the resale on this board was over $1,000 for the original
Wow,
round one.
$1,000. Holy shit.
$1,000, yeah, for a $250 keyboard at that time. So yeah, this board was hyped. I mean, obviously now this thing was not going to original anymore. It's been copied to hell. We'll talk more about the copying later on with how glorious, but yeah. So this group buy, just a mess because of how many people there were there. But that kind of showed how much hype there was of keyboards. So the reason why keyboards.
Oh
have a
wait, hold on.
was-
When was this?
the round two was September 2020.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
not that far back.
3 years
That's not
ago.
bad. But,
Oh,
yeah,
don't
yeah,
say that, please.
They just finished the group buy back in July last year. Mind you, because the
Oh.
original run of this, I think only 200 was sold. So 300, 400, no, 300 plus was sold. Because that was a cap. And this at over 1,200 for a $350 keyboard. Which at that time, the hobby was still kind of growing. For it to sell out in seconds, despite the botting, it's still nuts. So, yeah. So the reason why keyboards have caps is because logistically, to pack, QC, and sort everything is just a nightmare. Which is what has been learned from probably one of the more famous or infamous examples, the Vega. So the Vega is
Who comes up with these names?
The Vega is a keyboard by AO3, one of the most prolific designers in this space. He famously created the Polaris, which was back in 2019 was a board that kind of took a lot of the popular community ideas and made it into one keyboard. So it was essentially a form-filled gasket mounted 60%, that was only $295. And now that's expensive by today's standard because now you can get that kind of keyboard for $150. But at the time, no. So it was really popular, and this was essentially an evolution of that by turning into 65%, which is getting really popular at that time. So this didn't really had a cap. There was a high MOQ to get the price it was because I think it was $350, $360, I think, for this board. And yeah, there was a lot of hype on it. So the group buy was very successful. Too successful. I believe the final number was over 2,000 boards, and there was one problem. There's one guy managing the group buy. Sorry, two. From the guy
It's
named
not
Kevin
much
at
better.
Plus.
Dude's gonna be making keyboards
Over
until he's 80 years old.
2,000 of these boards. And the best thing first, it ran during COVID.
Oh,
So as of today,
oh
the group buy
god.
has finished. The group buy is finally finished. Because it just took forever for them to ship everything out. Like, I think it took them about 6 months to finally clear all of the bots and to ship. Because there's just that many orders. There was so many of these out there.
It doesn't look like much though.
It's mostly for the design aesthetic as well, the sound.
Like it looks
AO3
pretty generic.
It's very plain, simple design, but it's effective. I think it's one of the best implementations still of a gasket mount. It was the board that really, I think, kind of solidified the way gasket mount is done. It featured a screwless design, which the idea means that the bottom of the case, normally the keyboard has screws at the back, but this doesn't. This designed to screw in straight from the top plate. As you can see, it connects into the bottom case through all the PCB and the foam and whatnot. So this board was very, very hyped. Like, it sold well, but it was like, okay, yeah, maybe running an unlimited group buy where like two guys are behind the group buy is not exactly the best idea.
Is it hot swap?
It came in hot swap, yeah. I think it's the first time he actually made a hot swap board.
Yeah.
No. I don't think it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, it
no,
wasn't.
soldering kit. Ah! Non-hot swap
Solder.
keyboards are my nightmare.
Skill issue.
It's not a skill issue, it's a convenience issue.
Just learn to solder then. Or just
I
solder
know how to
sockets.
solder! I just don't
Just
want to!
Just Milmax sockets.
What?
Anyway, so it's not overhyped, Olivia. It's in the sense that this board it deserved the hype. It was a very well
Easy.
thought out, very high quality keyboard. Especially since AO3 and Type Plus, Kevin, had a very anal about QC. I believe they actually had to send back some stuff because it wasn't up to par. So it was well keep a group buy. Overall, it just was. The numbers were insane. It just took forever because of that. It took 2 years to finish the group buy. But yeah, that's kind of why I think most people nowadays keep a cap of how many group buys they want to run, or how many keyboards they want to run, or they just want to or run through vendors just to make it easier. Wait, do you guys want to ask anything also? I've been talking for quite a while.
I don't know, it just looks really plain.
It's a simple design, I will say,
Yeah.
but like seeing the things that inside the CNC, like to machine this lip here, is freaking expensive.
Oh, I see.
Because this is a CNC case, so making all the little indentations for the gasket mount and whatnot is not easy at all.
But
Naruto.
I can tell that this keyboard is relatively recent, just because of like the USB-C.
Yeah, I think USB-C became the standard towards the end of 2019.
Yeah.
That's when a lot of the boards started going to Type-C. There are still like group buys specifically for keyboards with a mini USB.
But that's
Because they're
pain
not
in the
really
ass.
And yeah, it's mostly those who kind of want.
I
think one thing
genuinely
that-
hate like keyboards that don't have a USB-C cutout. Just it's so like unmodular. Like it goes against
No, but
modular
it's
design.
just a standard now.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's good now.
This was peak when the keyboard hype was kind of high. Like when Creams was sold out for a whole year. Because what kind of caused this whole keyboard explosion wasn't just the pandemic. It wasn't just like things like TikTok, where like these kind of aesthetic kind of these stuff collecting hobbies just kind of grew really big.
Honestly, I'd say it was mostly those.
It was one of the most famous things was the Tfue collaboration with Teha Types. So Tifu was really into keyboards, you know, because he's a guy that he's a type that he does a lot of keyboard. He was really into keyboards because I think he got through to other people. What happened in the end was that he ended up what happens is that he ended up wanting a custom keyboard through someone, which is kind of funny. There was actually a drama itself. His mod himself actually built him a keyboard, but the keyboard saw Tea's commission page people talking about it because Tea was like the streamer who did keyboards. This is what the keyboard looks like. It's a custom key cult, which we'll get to later on because that's also another whole drama whole itself.
Oh my god, he called.
This key had a keyboard 160, which is custom made by him. It came in this.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, this analyzation is also like.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
He had this like insane patina by I forgot his name, but yeah, it's kind of wild. At that time, you didn't really see keyboards designed like this or the color like this, so this was like a massive hype generator. So this is when Tifu was at his peak. So people were like, "Oh shit, okay, this was the board." But he featured a switch that he liked called Novel Keys Creams. Now, by this day and age, creams are considered outdated and shit. But at the time, this was just like others. It featured a full POM construction, where the housing and the stems made of POM, polymethylene, which is a very soft material. So this switch got so popular because of Tfue. Novel Keys, who when also came out with the Switch, sold out for months because people were scalping the Switch. I think at one point people were reselling the Switch for like $1.60 per Switch or something when it was only 60 cents. Yeah, so the best thing was that for the whole year they couldn't restock it at all because the kids kept buying it because they thought it would make them better in Fortnite or shit, or like people were so obsessed with the sound of them that it was just hard to get this damn Switch. Nowadays you can get creams for like anywhere, even AliExpress you can get them.
Relatively cheaply.
Yeah, it was sold out like crazy. I remember wanting to buy some that sold out like every single time.
Creams are nice. Not as nice as Boba U4T, so get some Boba U4Ts, get some Gazoo Boba U4Ts on sponsor.
Oh yeah, creams nowadays. People really want this Switch. I don't know why. Because of Tfue alone. Like people were like mass buying these. Now it's similar to now with Zaku's.
Oh yeah,
which
Zaku's
is a
are
very
really...
hyped Switch. Zaku's are a Switch by Bolster Supply. That Switch is you can only get them during drops, and if you get them drops, you get lucky, which I did.
or just get
I
some.
have some in my hands. Yeah, just get some. They're overrated. They're overrated, by the way. I haven't seen them now. And
What, Zaku's?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you get some either U4Ts or.
I actually built my friend's keyboard yesterday with U4Ts.
Oh yeah. U4Ts are good. U4Ts are good.
That's not bad. Not bad.
Holy Pandas are like pretty okay. I've tested them, but U4Ts
Holy
are.
Pandas are still, in my opinion, like one of the best tactile switches.
Yeah, but U4Ts are my personal bias, honestly.
To be honest, U4Ts have a nice sharp activity to them that isn't like Zeal switches. I mean,
if you
U4Ts
want,
were kind of a nice balance in a way. If you wanted something sharp, a stiff tactile, but you didn't want something that's super tactile feeling. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like the bump is so prevalent, like Zelios. But since you mentioned Holy Pandas, it's time to talk about Glorious.
Let's talk about Glorious Pandas and why you should not buy them.
So, Glorious is one of literally the biggest.
Before we get into any overly sensitive, not sensitive, overly dramatic topics, which I want to get into, by the way. But before that, if you really want like super tactile switches, I recommend the Kale box crystals.
Oh no.
The Kale box, yeah.
That's a clicky, right?
They are clickies, yes. They are also super tactile. In fact, if you hear me clacking on them, that's the clickies. That's the Kill box crystals. I love.
Kind of infamous in the keep. Yeah. You mean to talk about it now? Or what?
Yep. Yeah. No. We're getting into it.
So Glorious is probably one of the most well-known companies, gaming companies nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their original intention was effectively to kind of buck the trend of the game companies and offer products at very affordable prices, as well as trying to break past the traditions or the issues that's commonly ran by group buys as well as ran by the community by offering up a storefront for it, making it more accessible to enter these hobbies lah. Essentially, they started with keyboard, the GMMK, they went to mice with the glorious mice series, which has its own drama by itself, and yeah, they've been in the scene ever since. Now, well, at one point they were most like mouse companies in the keyboard space. They're pretty notorious because of three main incidents, and they had to happen
Mm-hmm.
one after the other, which is kind of what made this whole thing funny. So let's start with the first one, the GMK Pro. So the GMK Pro is their keyboard. So this was they kind of brought it to Reddit and announced it as, hey, we're doing this affordable keyboard that have a lot of the popular community features, an aluminum case. It's has hot swap. It's has RGB because we all like RGB. I don't, but we all like RGB. Has a knob. It's a 75%, which according to them we determined that it's the most popular layout. Your keen eye may have noticed that there's something a bit uncanny about this because
Mm, uh,
no,
is there no
not at
num?
this.
No,
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 it
it's not.
doesn't. But this is where things get interesting. So
Copyright
nowadays it's
issues,
very
maybe.
common to see a 75% or not. But at that time, the Section 75 was when it kind of came out this layout. And this keyboard actually won like community awards or something, like the best keyboard of 2019. I think that's why it won.
Gen Oval.
But yeah, as I said, this group buy happened in September 2020, and all the drama of how badly the group buy was ran. 2 weeks after that, this was announced. So
Oh,
that's some
oh,
convenient timing. And according to them, I think the Reddit post has been taken down.
oof.
Uh, let's see.
Womp womp.
Let me see if I can find it. It was a while back. It's 2020. So, oh, this was before that. Yeah. So this is when they announced it. So this you can see they kind of like hit all this stuff. They kind of came out and announced it really well. So people kind of listened to them and they kind of figured, hey, this is the body that they actually did talk to the community before about. Okay, oh, the Holy Panic happened before that. Okay, well, we'll get to that later. So they ran this, and this was like kind of like really popular. People were like, oh wow, this shit is really cool. I see how you control bangers and shit. But this is a piece of pointing out, hey, this looks like the Satisfaction 75. And I think the defense was that this was like the most popular layout at the time. This was the most popular layout. But again, this was very shortly after the Satisfaction 75 group buy that went completely disastrous. And hey, the board that's kind of like it for half the price. No, 3/4. No, a quarter of the price. Just hey, here you go. Hey, here's a board here. So that's kind of what happened. And they took down Page Down already, but effectively they had a rent of this board for a while, and the game went on a pre-order for close to about, I think it was like 8 months or 9 months. That was when people started to raise the concern, like, hey, where's the board? Why is it taking so long to ship this? And they did eventually do it, I think back in like 2021, where I remember they put out a sound test, and it was actually taken on YouTube because people said of how shit it sounded. They kind of messed up their recording suite, but there was one big issue with this board, and that is that it's doesn't sound great.
Oof.
Not only
The
does it
stabilizers
not
also
sound
work.
great, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's no, I mean it sounds passable. The problem is that the board, the most people describe this is that they hit a bunch of check marks, and they didn't really do anything else. They didn't really. Again, the things that they got the community at the price because of the price point. At that time, this is something like this is unheard of. So they sold like crazy for these things. I actually wanted to buy this. I was really decided to buy this, but I'll sit and wait. Since I did the time, I already ordered my I think I ordered. I was going to buy the oh yeah, the KBD 600 Lite. So I said on the buys at the time.
Look, I'm gonna be honest, right? If it were so good, they wouldn't have needed to release a GMMK Pro 2.
No, GMK 2, GMK 2, not GMK Pro 2. It's the sequel to the original GMMK,
Oh Christ!
where they had the 65% and 98%.
If it were so good, they wouldn't have needed to release a GMMK 2. It would.
I mean,
If it were so
GMMK was like since 2017, I think. So it's time for a refresh version with a lot of the changes to them. Because this was the GMK actually got popular because this was the first time someone came out with a hot swap keyboard. Or it was the first mainstream hot swap keyboard.
Oh shit!
So yeah, that's why this thing had a lot of hype behind it. But yeah. So they were able to rent, and they had a render for a long time. And so people started calling them out like, hey, why did you not send this board out to streamers? Why did you not send it out for reviewers? Which they did, and people were like, wait, this sounds like shit. A bunch of other things. But yeah, this board just wasn't really that great overall. It was stiff, it didn't sound good.
Oh yeah, as
a
someone
lot
who's
of QC
typed on a
issues as well.
GMMK Pro before, this thing when it bottoms out, it breaks your fingers.
I think the bad thing also is that this board had like no flex.
Zero flex.
The gaskets just didn't work the way it intended. And I believe Andy Nugent, when he tried to dismantle the board for stream, his screws got stripped. The reason they broke in the case. So you can't unscrew it. It's the best thing.
Hilarious.
But yeah, but as I said before, they thought something called the Holy Panda. And as you said before, the Holy Panda is a tactile switch. So I'm gonna see if I can turn on my camera and show you some stuff. I don't know if this works. Wait, hold on. Can you put down my screen first on your stream?
Yeah, sure. You just give me a second. Ta-da.
Give me a sec. Hold on, I'm gonna.
We are back at the $1 million studio.
Okay, so give me a second. Let me get some stuff real quick.
A $10 million. Actually, no, $11 million studio. I'm the better detective now.
Camera should be okay now. But it is flipped around. You'll have to flip my screen around.
Okay, so we are good to go with the.
My webcam.
Okay, moving back to the news report.
So welcome to my desk. Hello. So let's start with the Holy
Hello.
Panda. The Holy Panda is a tactile switch that kind of blew up by combining two different switches together. The inver housing, the Panda housing, which is supposed to be a quick endgame linear switch, but ended up being pretty mediocre. And the drop halo true switch, which was a tactile switch that used a box, like a box holding style. In by kill, but had like I think it had like 100-gram weight or something.
So to put it in a more technical sense, it's a Franken switch, right?
Yeah, so it's combined with these switches. I don't know who came up with it, but they just tried it and people liked it. And it grew a ton of hype. So the thing is that the Holy Panda became this really hype switch, especially since Teja was taking off, and a lot of his most famous builds was with the Holy Pandas. What most famously was his Fiel build, which I think now has like 2 million views or something. So yeah, this was a community created Franken switch. And at that time it was like going upwards of $6 a switch at one point.
Because the production cost of this is like absolutely.
No, it's because the things that the invert pandas housing, the original ones, they were not that accessible because it ran as a group buy and it didn't really do that well because the problem was the switch ended up being pretty mediocre, so most people didn't own them, most people didn't buy them. But after some people created the Franken switch, it ended up blowing up. So that's why the switch became so expensive. Now eventually it led to Drop. Drop actually worked with Inver to reproduce the housings and make official Holy Pandas, which I will talk about another time or on my own drama tier list because that also has its own drama, multiple rounds of it actually. But yeah, this was the switch that came out. So Blurs was like, hey, this is getting really popular. This Holy Panda switch. Let's throw our hand in the ring. Let's make a switch that, that following our design motto of, hey, we're gonna make stuff that is for the community, by the community, but at a way cheaper and more accessible price. So they created the Glorious Panda, which is a sort of a take on the Holy Panda in similar style. Now, this Switch, it's not bad. I think this Switch was also made by, was it made by Durock? I think it's made by Durock.
You're wrong.
So this Switch became really, really pop. This Switch, you got a lot of hype. But there was one thing that the community started getting a bit spooked about, but also like started calling them out for, and that was the name of them. So this is the original version of the box. You cannot get this box anymore. But as you can see, it kind of flipped out. It kind of says here, Glorious Holy Panda Switches. Now, the Holy Panda was the name given to the Franken Switch.
Mhm.
So people are like, hey, why are you calling this Holy Pandas? This is not it. Because these are completely different switches. The stem works slightly differently, as well as the housing is slightly different. Like, this feels completely different from this, I'll say. Like, I can describe this has a bit more, has less pre-travel. This is like, that's the distance it takes to go down. But it doesn't have the same kind of bump like the original Holy Pandas does. So here's something that caused a lot of drama. It was discovered that they actually trademarked the name Holy Panda. The patent, I think, you can still find it publicly, but they patented the name Holy Panda. No, the community seen this as a pretty shitty move because this was something created by the community, and now they're taking the name for themselves and then like monetizing it effectively. I don't think there was anything wrong with the Switch existing. It's just that people felt like it was kind of
The
messed up
name,
that they
the
chose-
name was the fucked up part.
Yeah.
They should not have
I mean-
taken the name.
They should not name this Holy Panda at first because now people, if people don't look for the original Holy Pandas, they want to find this in the search engine. And they really made this packaging as well. So they did, after a huge outcry from the community, they ended up scrapping the name Holy and just went with Pandas. So yeah,
Glorious
This
in
was a
general
mess
just
today.
has like a ton of like really unsavory names, I feel.
yeah, it just felt like it felt like kind of a dick move. Like this way to describe it, it's like, hey, this is what the community created, and now you're taking it as your own, and license and like trademarking it is kind of messed up. But
the
again,
issue
if this
is
was the first round that people were like, okay, and the GMK Pro wasn't technically a bad product in general. It just it didn't really like hit the marks was a hit. It was the next incident that happened that caused all of the shit that really kind of started Glorious relationship with the key the space, and that's with the creation of the keycaps. That was the one that really caused it wrong. I think Chloe was what I'm talking about, but this is in general, this is what kind of blew everything up and it's caused so much issues, which was the let me find a website. It is the Glorious Celestial Fire keycaps. So before I talk about this, I have to talk about cloning. Cloning is, hold on, can you guys see this?
I am back on.
All right, so cloning has been one of the most controversial things in the keyboard space. Because it's the nature of group buys, this stuff is expensive and not accessible, especially if you miss them. So there was opportunities companies to go to kind of make. There was all these China companies started making clones.
Oh, yes, China companies clones. Oh,
Yes.
my favorite.
Oh my god.
Like for example, like these clones keycaps. So for example, this is DMG. This is a popular set by Omnitype. It's basically based on the Game Boy, and this set was cloned a number of times because this set was only available as group buy from GMK. So it's actually GMK inspired. Was cloned. So the thing is, a lot of
Inspired.
people were kind of not happy with this. I think there were even spaces. There were spaces like certain keyboard discords I've been on where you were not allowed to even post pictures of any clones.
Sheesh.
You couldn't put if you will get your post will be deleted if you post a picture of like say keycap clones or something. Because people just didn't really agree with it. Now, to me, this is my opinion. There's nothing wrong in if you're buying it because you really want that colors, but you just can't get all your set. And I think following the color scheme, not great, but it's not bad because you can't own colors.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a design idea, yeah. But if you start cloning novelties, that's a no. That's a hard no to me. because a lot of it is designed by the original designer himself.
Okay,
You're gonna say it's part of the-
but ethics and whatnot aside, this particular case was special for a reason,
Yes.
no?
because Glorious is huge. As people said, this is one of the biggest companies already.
Mm-hmm.
They already had their own keycaps and whatnot, and they did the kind of thing. So when they announced this, people immediately noticed that hey, this set looks kind of familiar, and it's because it has a very uncanny appearance to this Infinity Eater, a set where
Oh, okay, I can see it. Yeah.
so you can see the colors here. Yep. Yeah, they just added a couple more colors there, but you know, the idea is that this was created by Lexotos, and
I mean, I think it's enough of a difference.
no, the part that I think is that you know, one, hey, it looks kind of close already. Two, they're glorious, they're huge. They could easily work with any designers. Like they could, hey, go up to say, I don't know, Alexotos himself, be like, hey, can we make Eater with all?
I
they
mean,
go up to,
I don't know. I think this one it looks different enough.
Okay,
There's
research.
yellow into it, right? Yeah.
Research. Hear me out. It's like taking an article from a Redditor and posting it as a news article.
Like,
Unacceptable.
there's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of a dick move.
I think it looks different enough. in my
No, but
opinion.
here's the thing.
And you
Alex
can't.
was around the time announced that he's actually working on round 2 of this set, which he still is right now. However, not only did he copy it, well, cloned it sort of. Alex also was also the guy that made the assembly and the sound test for Glorious GMK Pro. They
Ooh.
wanted him to do that, so it was like, hey, can you help us promote our keyboard? And you know, if you just kind of look at keycap 7, just like, you know, it's mine, just join it real quick. Which a lot of people were like pretty annoyed by. Especially including the asking price. This is $99 for this. That's it.
They could have just paid him.
Like that's it. $99. Whereas the original set is also $99, but you know, you get all of this at once. I still want Infinity Key. I'm still trying to get a set of it of Ether eventually, but I'm gonna wait for the next round. But yeah, it was like kind of a piss. Considering you're that big, like it's nothing wrong with like if there's a difference between like, a Chinese factory cloning and one of the biggest companies out there getting pretty close to it and starting it more than the original set.
It's
just a-
still, I don't know. It's still different enough, in my opinion. That could just be me, but yeah. It looks different enough for my unenthusiast
this
eyes.
thing is that this set also this other color was also a clone of this set. It's a Dream Eater, which ran sometime after that. So what happened was that the original designer, was it Epiphany? It was Epiphany, yeah. Who ended up, not Imperial's designer, sorry, but she's the one who ended up accusing Glorious of all this, and people were like, "Hey, yeah, why the hell are you doing this?" Like, it's just, I don't. People would have cared if it was some China company. Like, sure, buying is not great, but you know, yeah, understandable. But it's Glorious where they could easily use the resources to go and make their own color scheme and come out with designers to put the sets out. So they just kind of closely resemble their sets after some popular keycap sets, which to a lot of people was kind of the last breaking straw. Like the Holy Panda incident was still like on a lot of people's minds. The GMA Pros was on people's minds, so this was kind of like the shit where they really cocked up. It's like, okay, this is not acceptable at this point. So yeah, Glorious is kind of pushed out the key. Well, not really pushed out the keyboard space, but a lot of people were. This is where the clone drama kind of really took off. A lot arguing about this. Again, my stance is that I understand why people buy clones. I'd rather people not, but I can understand why. They're way cheaper than official keycaps. They are more accessible. They're more readily available in most places, and I can understand lah. And I understand the pricing as well, because there's a lot of budget keycaps nowadays. Like like some nice PBD here. These are some pretty affordable sets, but the thing is, this is
Harry
still like
Milkshake.
$95 for this keycaps. It's still $95 SGD dollars. So like any newbie that maybe bought like a $60 kit, like, hey, well, when I spend $95 on a keycap set, I'm just gonna buy like a $30 set on Taobao.
Hey, look, it's Pearl themed.
Yeah, it's just. rough law. So that's kind of when Glorious kind of was like, okay, it's clear you guys are just trying to milk our community as well, and that's the best thing. Glorious wanted to stop group buys, right? But what they do?
They do a group buy.
They do group buys.
Oh god.
Oh my god, this is also its own
Oh
drama. This swap
no.
switches. They came out with these pre-looped, transparent, linear switches, which is only available with the.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Glorious feels like it's the international version of MASH.
I mean
Yeah.
uh,
Like, look, think about it. Like the marketing.
okay,
You
like
cut out.
personally,
you cut
right?
out.
Personally, I am against intellectual property, so I actually don't really mind clones all that much. I can understand why people dislike it, but at the same time, it's it's a fucking color scheme. Like, come on,
I
dude.
mean, yeah. I don't really care for the colors to be copied, lah. And I think it's the big move part is that this is such a big company already. Glorious is such a huge company. They have easily worked with a lot of designers of keycap sets.
Yeah,
This set-
but
this-
they really didn't need to. It's in the end it's still colors. So it's like,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It just
eh,
feels like in such a they're trying to be in part of a community space, and by just kind of cloning quote unquote the colors, especially to one of the designers that helped them make content for the GMK Pro. And let me tell you this: if it weren't for Alex Loso's build streams, I think the board would have been perceived a lot worse.
yeah,
Because the
I
thing is,
know.
the Glorious original videos was so poorly received that a lot of people started canceling their orders. So it was Alex also builds videos that kind of saved the bot's reputation, sort of. I mean, it was so shit, and it is shit.
I think I'm gonna say
I mean, they
it,
decided,
like,
they decided to build a pre-built version that's selling for $350.
I'm gonna compare it one more time to like news sites copying Reddit articles.
You know, it's nothing ethically wrong about it. It's just
Kind of a dick move.
yeah, it's not really suitable for such a big company. Again, I don't have any issues with people wanting to buy clones for the color scheme or just because they cannot afford it's fine. But I don't agree with that that like novelty sample because of that's designed by the designer should be cloned. And in general, like I rather people not buy clones. I have sit down and spoken to my friend my throat is sore, like I'm talking for so long. Yes, I can just check them real quick. Getting notifications for some reason. I talked to my friend Nati, and she is the designer of GMK Harvest. GMK Harvest is a set themed after Hollow from Spice and Wolf.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah,
man, I
so
know
I
someone who's gonna be a fan of that.
spoke about design process, and it took a very, very, very long time.
it's literally colored after the girl.
Yeah, but designing the colors, choosing what colors to use, the set, notice all this took over a year of work before it even hit IC.
Sheesh.
Before it's even posted onto forums, which still took some months to produce.
Sheesh.
And like, it wasn't easy, but in the end, they did run a group buy. But imagine that you spent a whole year designing, like working with the renderers, like checking with other people, like, hey, would you go with this color? Then finding manufacturers who are willing to take up a set, hoping that the community would buy into a set, and running it and hoping that it actually crosses MOQ because I don't people realize that a lot of GMK sets nowadays don't exactly meet the minimum order in the first place because there's too many of them at this point. So people it may not even make it to the finish line. So that and just hoping that someone doesn't clone the colors and in the end your set just doesn't sell in the end. Especially when it's such a passion project, it takes so long to design for. That's kind of why I much rather people, if they can buy an official, not official, but a proper set from like a vendor, even if it's a bit expensive, $100 or $90 accounting. Because this does go back to the original designer, it does go back to original vendors. It's helps support the community. Like I've said, I've told people this: support the local community, support the vendors, because you wouldn't be having your budget keyboard now that you got from $60 from AliExpress if it weren't for the fact that this all drummed up the hype enough for these companies to make these cheap keyboards on AliExpress. That's what I see. That's why people buy these official keycaps, or just buy like GM join a GM Group buy, or join X buy extras. buy these in-stock products, even if it costs more money than just buying something cheap on AliExpress or Taobao or Shopee. Because I'd rather see people get supported because they're the ones that pushing this hobby forward, and I'd prove the reason why these companies are making clones in the first place because there is demand for that. That's the way I feel about it. So yeah, that's why the glorious thing was such a seen as really badly. Like it's one thing for a company as big as them to quote unquote clone it so that the way worse value price. Especially in front of the person that they worked with to effectively save the keyboard's reputation is just ugh. Oh, the best thing also, they themselves say they don't want to do FOMO, but now they don't only run group buys, but they do shit like this, where they make a pre-built keyboard with their own switches, right? However, they don't sell the switches by itself. They don't. No.
What?
They only run it as a group buy once.
Oh.
There's no way to get these Fox switches other than to buy the pre-built board for $350. Mind you, these switches were only $59. $59 for these 120 of these switches. So let's say $40 will cost fill up a full JMA Pro. $169 for the keyboard base. Oh, and keycaps itself was like what? I think like $50. Yeah, it's these ones. Yeah, $50. It's literally just this keycap set. So where is the actual money coming from? Oh yeah, because they add a lot of other shit. They give you all like sort of like cleaning cloth and other crap that maybe at most cost a few cents.
They'll jack the prices up.
Yeah, so either you spend $250 just to get the damn Switch, or join the group buy, a limited run group buy that's no longer available to get the Switches. And they didn't even send out samples to any reviewers. They just ran the group buy. So that's kind of why I have a personal policy. I don't like Glorious. I don't want to support Glorious. And if you want me to build you a keyboard by Glorious, I will turn you down. I just do not want to promote them or support them anyway. And that's the kind of thing that I have bought Glorious stuff before. No, I don't wish to. I don't really want to like support to give them any form of like my attention. I don't think they deserve it. I'm sorry, if you want me to build Jimmy Pro, I'm just gonna say no. Because I really don't want to like support these fucks. Or maybe I should. Maybe I should buy Jimmy Pro myself and tear it to bits.
That would give them money, which is what they want.
True.
They like money.
True.
You know how I know they like money?
How?
Because I myself too also like money.
Yeah, but are you willing to undermine your consumers' trust? You want to know to that? I know it's a yes.
I do not have consumers.
Bro.
Look, I'm just saying. I am not a fraudster, but if I were, I would not.
Yeah, it's just a funny, hilarious mess of all this thing. I think Glorious is like at this point.
I am not a fraudster, but if I were, please Coffeezilla, do not talk to me, do not interact with me anymore. Until you make a video about me, then I will say you should not have talked to my manager.
Yeah,
you should talk to me. But I think that is about time, I believe. Would it be?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't talk about more drama because like we only touched like 3 things out of like the 40 in my list.
I mean that was the pre-planned amount. I mean, that was the pre-planned amount, like 3, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can share one more.
We have time.
For a drama that something I do know pretty well because one of my friends joined this group by, and unfortunately, have a mess. And let's talk about probably one of the more funny cases I've heard about, and that's the Rukia. The Rukia is a polycarbonate keyboard by someone named Jack Static from a company called Mint Autumn.
I'm sorry, his name is Jack Static.
Yeah, Jack Static.
Motherfuckers trusted someone called Jack Static?
Because he ran this before. And the first one was pretty successful. It was pretty popular.
It's like trusting someone named something funky, like fucking soul or some shit.
The Atlas is one of the most popular layouts in the custom keyboard space. It is created by, it's originally based on the EM7, which is his own drama group by, because that happened also, by Lin, and it's refined further by Yuxi of TGR. So the files were actually released publicly. People can come up with their own design of the board. So this is one of them. The first round was report successful. People bought it. So a round two happened in April 2020, and it did really well. It reached MOQ, I believe, about a couple hundred or so. It did like 300, 400. It did pretty well, and went pretty well. And this kind of what happened when the manufacturer. This was actually during the COVID pandemic, so the manufacturer gave a quote that was way higher than the original intended cost of the manufacture the keyboards. So that just led to a problem. Like, okay, we actually don't have enough funds to afford this. How are we gonna manage this? Like, because it costs way more to manage the keyboards, and it won't. I think it will cut into the margins of running the group buy. So it was like, okay, how am I gonna do this? So what he does, he starts talking to the community, instead of like putting more funding to get his board out, or find someone a way. He's like, hey, why just make this myself? So he takes the money from this and goes and buys a CNC machine to make the keyboards himself for some reason.
I can see this going very well and not at all badly.
So people started asking, this is when things restarted the hell. He stopped responding on Geekhack. Like, where are the updates? So people are like, where are the updates? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah,
How much is a CNC machine?
yeah, so yeah, he started doing it himself, where you can see here, started playing some extras and whatnot, and there's also weird ass shit. And I started playing this so far ahead. Like, he started playing the next round as well while this is still being worked on. He ended up making his own factory and whatnot, began designing some stuff as he began producing things, so it took a while. And people were like, hey, where are the updates? Where's the goddamn updates? This is already reaching November, December, when, you know, he started beginning to make stuff in house, and people were like, okay, so where is it? And things began to slow down. This is April 2021. This is the 1 year mark already. He went silent. He went completely silent. For a bit. And then I think
He dumped.
he came back around this time and started explaining things so on. So this is when he started talking about the design progress and everything that's going on. And basically because of to make this thing help, because he chose to make this himself, he had to quit his job and do all this shit right now. So as you can see, started explaining things like, hey, this is all the manufacturing and whatnot. He goes to try to quit manufacturing up, started doing it himself, and you know, he needs the money lah. Trying to just kind of work on this shit. He's like, where are the updates and whatnot?
Use the money to go get a lawyer?
Because they had to go chase the factory for the fund back because they want to cancel the factory to the money. So he said. And it's just like see, he's actually started putting all the work that is going on and whatnot. So it shows you that stuff is all going on. And people are like, hey, where's it going? And the thing is that he was saying, he's like, hey, I'm chasing hiring a lot to go chase after for my money. And people are like, okay, but when this is not what you said. And why are you suddenly bringing out a lawyer for this group buy? You're doing this yourself. Why are you chasing the factory like over a year after this group buy ran? Like, what the hell is going on? And
You win some, you lose some. This one's starting to look like an L.
and he kept saying, hey, this was shipping, this was shipping. This is 2021 by you, 2024. And he kept missing the deadlines, pushing further back. And I believe at some point he started talking about a bunch of weird ass shit where I don't know, started talking about having depression and other shit, and a lot of things. People were like, hey, give us the updates. The
I
crazy
don't
thing is that
care
also
about
this
your
guy
depression.
Gondolin,
Where's my
he's
fucking
like-
rectangle?
I mean, my friend spent like 508 USD. So,
Oh god damn!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
so the
Shame.
crazy thing is that this guy Gon, he is a prolific PCB designer, and he designed PCB so group buy. And he tried to chase after design for him, and apparently The guy didn't even receive, started ghosting him as well, started ghosting people left and right. And it's just like, yeah, people like, what the fuck's going on? Remember at this point, right? Gondolin is considered one of the most trustable people in the family. For him to suddenly say like, hey, he's starting to ghost me as well. Like it's people like, okay, what the fuck's going on? I think we should let them talking about something about the government chased up to him or some shit. That's what I heard. A bunch of other things. At this point in time, it's been 3 years since the group buy, and he still hasn't shipped anything yet.
Come on.
Which leads to me, I'm gonna open a plug that someone decided to, someone was like, you know what, screw this, I'm doing it myself. Which I introduced you to Amano. A polycarbonate Alice, a similar weight design, that's in stock and selling right now. So it's just kind of funny. Like, people were like, screw this guy, let's just go buy it elsewhere. And yeah, so there's more from lah. Yeah, this is one of the most. This is 2020 as well. You think by now this will be end.
Look, you could either
Yeah,
get this or
this-
you could get like a Keychron Q8 or some shit.
Yeah, it's just bad, man.
Jeez.
It's just, yeah, rip. Considered by many to be one of the largest scams out there because of how much money it was. I think close to 6 digits that was effectively exit scammed. The handling of everything, the lack of communication, just the bizarre decision was like,
And he started
okay,
talking about having
instead of
like
just going to a vendor or to a manufacturer try to work things out, or possibly ask for more funding if needed be, because this was during the pandemic, so things skyrocketing in price in manufacturing was kind of untenable. But to go all the way, just take the money, go make it yourself. All of a sudden, it's just like, what?
whole
And
ass
apparently, he
factory.
had the cases in case and just didn't ship it out. It's just like, what are you doing?
He let
And yeah, it's just
you want to know my like opinion on this, no, or not opinion, my theory.
yeah.
He let the
game
intrusive
theory?
thoughts win.
Yeah.
Like apparently, some people estimate up to $300,000 was kind of taken and ran.
Damn.
Yeah, this was bad. There was some other bad access scams also, like heavy metal keyboards that happened back in 2021. 8v1, the Gaskins 00, that was more of a fuck up. The Gion 100k fuck up, which I can talk about another time. Rose cables, which is his own, Summit cables, Rose cables, that's his own hellhole that I don't want to get into at all because we'll be here all day. Lumina, Scarlet Banana, the Dolphin EM7, Chibi R2, Diamond 65, all these keyboard group I just went absolutely haywire because of just bad decisions.
Who comes
What
up
was
with
one?
these names?
I don't know. I think people just do a line of coke to come up and name the keyboards. I swear.
No,
They get the same random name generator that Kingdom's Hearts is using.
Yeah.
They
it's
just
like
roll.
naming a
I mean,
hurricane.
there are some just some happy endings to this. Like some games are really just out of Bill's control, like the Nox 3280, where the guy basically just got boned by the analyzer this whole time.
Bro, the
So that
Melody
Nox
96.
Croissant.
Like this group buy was rough. This group buy was delayed over and over again due to so many issues. It did in the end finally make it to the finish line and shipped out.
Yay!
Finally
The
did.
bare
They
minimum.
recommend him, but he worked to everything he can just to kind of get it done. So
They're just
finally got
fucking
it done
rectangles.
end of last year.
They're just-
Yeah, but the thing is when you're working out of a garage by yourself to do a bunch of keyboards and then your keyboards had to get delayed because your first run of it, the colors didn't match up. Second run of it, again, it still didn't match up. You went to a different vendor and then COVID happens.
Oh, that's
Oof.
rough.
Yeah.
Okay, that's more understandable.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly,
in the end, despite
Dad.
all of the rough issues, and it's all that, in the end, this group buy was for in the end. And it's a nice deal. He did actually recently run the 380, the third version of this board, and went much better now. He has a team and all that stuff. So it happens, lah. I think the thing is that in this hobby space, when you're making things for the community by the community, things can just happen. Because you're manufacturing for such a small batch compared to these factories making big ones, so shit happens, lah. And a lot of these projects are just, spurs someone's interest to kind of come up with this idea and make it into a final product. It's just sad when drama happens because it's just like it's not acceptable at all. Like, hey, why are you doing this? And other times it's just kind of funny to see how these vendors handle things.
It's like
I-
the Fire Festival, but in much smaller extent, like in much smaller like communities and to a more
Yeah.
widened extent.
I mean, it seems so complicated to do. You just do crypto.
Yeah, just do
just do
crypto.
crypto.
At this point,
If
just
you
do
want to-
crypto.
Yeah, at that point, you must just do crypto.
Yeah. In the
Right.
end,
Mhm.
he finally made it done. It came out really well. It was rough. It really was, and then, but, yeah.
Waluigi colored keyboard.
I
Yeah,
want
it's
my
okay.
Waluigi rectangle.
Wait, I can actually do that color scheme because I have a purple case like that, and I have the same keycaps here.
Oh, for fuck.
Yeah,
Wario.
uh, what's it called? It's Serika, and I have a purple keyboard like this.
Okay, you know what? I have one more question for you before
Yo.
we before we cut the stream.
Sure.
Steak flavored toothpaste or toothpaste flavored steak?
Take favorite toothpaste.
Fair answer.
It's the right answer, I think.
Right answer.
Yeah. No, but my question is, all right. So, as we have like established so far, Glorious is absolute shit. It is like fucking terrible.
People spit.
It's like levels.
People spit.
I mean, the thing is, Glorious. They set out to kind of break the market by undercutting everybody and just trying to put out products that kind of rub in the face of the community, like
Oh, are they
spiking the community.
Chinese?
Probably.
Kind of. But thing is, I don't really agree with it. Like, we have seen many of these companies. Like, I think one of the best cases I can think about is Novel Keys. Like, this guy went from working in a farm, doing anything himself, to now like his own warehouse, his own office, running their own products, creating their own things. It's like it's possible to grow with community because community is here to help. Like the thing is, this is an expensive hobby. Like nobody's denying that this hobby is outrageously expensive.
All right. And on
Yeah.
that
That
topic,
a lot of people in this hobby are also willing to throw money to support projects that they believe in, but also people that believe in too. There are a lot of I've heard a lot of stories of these for people in the community that have kind of gone full time doing keyboards because of how much support they received. So Glorious could have every single chance to work with the community because they have the resources. They obviously have design partners, they have factories they can work with. They could have done so much to really kind of innovate within the community space, not just appeal to the normies, but also appeal to the
normies.
enthusiasts.
okay. So
the
while you
generals and
were
whatnot.
disconnected, we mentioned that like Glorious is basically the international version of Control Alt Mesh.
The thing is Control on Mesh. It's not my issue with Control Mesh isn't exactly the board prices because they are competitive in pricing. The switch pricing and the keyboard prices are fair. It's just that they get you in the services and try to upsell more to the stuff. Like $1 per switch looping. Really? $1 per switch?
So it's like Mesh but worse then.
But the thing is that Mesh is sold through marketing. They always have the marketing social media reach. Glorious is its own company that came with that was supposed to be bought from the community. A big brand name that's ran by the community for the community is meant to kind of like break the trends of the issues that within the community space, like group buys, for example, and do them in a much more affordable, a much more approachable manner. But they end up just regressing back to doing the shit the community does.
So would you
And just-
say that Glorious is pretty much the worst of the community?
I've
They're not
talked about this
even
before.
part of the community.
I have talked about this before, but like one thing I've realized in this keyboard hobby space is just how commercialized everything's become. There is in fact the keyboard market right now is falling off a cliff very fast. Ever since the pandemic started to slow down, people started returning to work, people are like less interested in custom keyboards. The space has become so affordable. The thing is that most people are not interested in buying these collecting keyboards like me. I'm not degenerate. Right, I'm a degenerate. I own 9 keyboards. I have 2,000 switches. I have 10 GMK sets. I have a lot of stuff. I'm a collector. I love this hobby a lot. But the thing is that people are just not interested in expanding in this. They're not interested in buying a second keyboard. They're not interested in buying a high-end keyboard. They just want to get their keyboard and to be done with it.
Yeah, like me, I
And
just bought a Wu thing, and I'm not
Gucci.
even gonna swap
Look,
anything from it.
I mean, there's no point. The Looting is its own, but Looting is a very good keyboard, which I want to buy eventually to do a custom build with it. However, the thing is, Glorious is like a one-stop shop. That's what they try to do. Glorious tries to sell you as a one-stop shop. If you go to their webpage and you want to buy their keyboard, they present all of these accessories like, hey, you know, we have our own switches, we have our own switch films, we have our own knobs, we have our own loop stations, our own loop, our own brush.
I own the switch opener. It's
I own
shit.
everything. Yeah, they try to sell you everything here up front, like they try everything. They try to basically make it such that they
Don't need to buy anything
reduce
anywhere
your hobby,
else.
but it's actually trying to keep you within their space by just selling to you everything up front. On this
Like
case, like the
Apple.
numpad,
Just like
the numpad,
Apple.
which the numpad is like $100, but yeah, is it $100? Let me see. Wait, how much is it? I don't know. What?
Ah! Why? It's
Because-
just a numpad.
Because it's gasket mounted with RGB. Like
Why?
gasket mounted numpad, yeah. And the crazy thing is, like, they sell you this, right? But then they tell you, hey, by the way, customize the zone with all these accessories. We're gonna upsell you, with different plates, different sliders, different frames, different badges, different knobs. They try to keep you within their keyboard space.
Oh my god, I just realized. Tori.
Hmm.
They are the aftershock.
Yeah, dude,
of
okay, hear me out. No, no, no.
keyboards.
They are not. Okay, that is why I said they are the mesh of the international keyboard community. Because mesh, Risu, you see, is the keyboard section of Aftershock PC.
Yeah.
My friends just recently learned that Tempest, you may have heard of their brand, is actually Aftershock's brand that became Mash. A lot of people don't really know this, but yeah.
Risu, would you like to accompany me to Control Alt Mesh someday?
Oh my god, I would love to.
Wait, what are you trying to do?
I'm getting Risu on a date. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
To the worst. To the
Don't
worst.
don't tell
keyboard
Deco
shop.
this, alright? He's sponsored by him now.
Wait, what?
Deco's
yeah,
got Aftershock sponsorship.
Oh Christ! Oh no!
He has to put a little ugly Aftershock square in the corner of his stream now.
Look. I am.
Oh, dude, I don't want to talk shit about like this because it doesn't happen. I was watching it streamed, and I'm gonna turn my camera over this again so I can demonstrate something. So, back to my
Hand
desk.
review.
The people like my hands for some reason. People like
Hell
yeah.
my hand.
Hand review. Oh my
Oh.
god. Bare hands, chat. Don't
Oh,
look too hard or you might
I
get
lost.
pregnant.
I
Oh
lost.
no! Oh no!
So let me just get a keyboard.
Careful. One good firm handshake and pregnancy is assured.
I lost. Oh no!
Endgame keyboard. And most people know about it. It's a very rare keyboard that I think most people don't know about.
Wow, that's very big.
And it is
Very-
not USB-C.
That's a chunky boy. Wow.
And it is not
It's a-
USB-C.
It's a totally endgame keyboard.
It's a Razer.
So let me demonstrate this. So when you want to take out a keycap, you use something called a keycap puller. So what is this? That it has like a
It's a
handle here and just
spatula.
wires here. Basically, yeah. So you use it to pull out the keycap because it holds the keycap within the frame. That is.
Ooh.
Oh no, are those Razer Oh fuck.
This is a switch puller. This is used to pull the switches out of hotspot PCB. Now, if you look carefully,
It's just a pair of tweezers.
these two are completely different tools,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
You know what the Mash did? They handed them this. That's it. When they're trying to build a keyboard, and this is their first time building a keyboard as well. They were using the switch puller to pull out the keycaps, like that. You know what they're doing?
It's a
They
budget
were rubbing
solution.
inside here and scratching the keycaps.
Oh hell nah.
They didn't even know
Incredible.
this until I went on their stream, and I was like,
Oh
they're trying to,
Christ.
because they put the wrong keycap on the keycap, so they're trying to pull it out.
You know what?
That's how
Give me
Vinny's
a
like,
second. This is making me. This is giving me a stomach ache. I need to. I can't stomach this. BRB. Yeah.
Quick, end the stream, Tori.
Ah!
This is the part
End the
that-
stream
that
before you
just makes-
shit yourself.
Well, it just makes me like laugh. The crazy thing is that They didn't even know because the thing is that Mesh
They
should
couldn't
know.
have like one person to tell them.
No,
Oh
the thing
my
is
God.
Mesh. No, they had someone helping them because there was sponsor stream. They were streaming at Mesh itself. The thing is that they were not. They were not handed this. You think a shop that sells custom keyboards, that sells keycaps, right, would hand them a cheap keycap puller like this? They didn't. They just handed them the switch puller and didn't tell them. They just used it to grab the keycaps, and it was scratching their keycaps away. I saw them do this. I was like, wait, don't use that. Use the keycap puller instead. They didn't give us that. I was like, what the fuck? Hello? Here, keyboard shop. You tell me you cannot tell this apart from this. Or better, you didn't just hand them both of them this. Like, oh yeah, they have keycaps. I put them that. Like, what? Oh, lucky I caught it.
Aftershock!
Like, I saw that. I was so tilted. I was like, there's no
Yes,
way
don't
they
worry.
probably do that.
Bro, I have
About it.
all the shit that Aftershock does sometimes. I've had someone who had an Aftershock PC and the wires weren't seeded.
Someone I know had a PSU 140.
Uh,
The other one, the glass shattered.
oh my god. Aftershock is the worst. You would
Yeah.
never catch me dead using Aftershock PC unless it's for
Yeah.
gigs.
Oh,
Oh
it's
yeah,
kind of.
you have all those keycaps with like the Japanese characters, right? So that must
I
mean
have.
you can use Japanese.
I mean, it's not the only one. I think I have another set with Legends on it. I have a bunch actually.
Wow, you
But-
can type Japanese. That's so cool, Zena.
Wow, I'm so professional. But yeah, this is kind of like Mash is so hilarious and competent. I'm not sure what to say. It's just like what the fuck.
I mean, Aftershock is supposed to be a PC building company, but almost every single one, all but
But
one
they had
computer I
keyboard
know for
people
people broke
in their
super
space. I really
easily.
went to the TikTok page yesterday, I was reacting to it, and they had like people with like full on custom keyboards. They didn't tell I don't know whoever's working there just to make sure, hey, you hand them a keycap puller and a switch puller, not just one. And then they don't know, they just kind of scratch their keycaps left and right. I was like, oh my god. I genuinely tilted in person when I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? How?
Incredible. What gamers?
The thing is, Mash is popular, or like whenever I talk to people about keyboards, they usually think about Mash because Mash has that outreach, the social media outreach.
Mm-hmm.
And all the big streamers go through them, stable streamers that is. Oh yeah, it's like wow, incredible. I don't know how they did it, but just
Insane.
wow.
Well,
I was so
luckily we
upset.
were not sponsored by Aftershock.
I don't think they ever will. I follow my words. Don't even ever say anything much. But yeah, guys, don't go to Mash. You can go to
Don't go to
instead.
Aftershock. Don't
Yeah,
buy
that's-
from Pixel.
Die.
He's gone.
Oh, okay, I'm back. What's up?
And definitely do not buy from Alienware.
Yeah, I told them about the case about the fact that they handed a switch puller and they're scratching the keycaps.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're still on that. Oh goddamn.
Yeah, I mean, switch explained already.
Oh shit.
So yeah,
Oh
that's
oh
kind of
god.
what happened.
Wait.
Are you
No.
done pissing on your jacket, Tori?
Yeah. I'm done. I'm done pissing on my jacket.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. So all right. One final question. What advice would you give to aspiring people who are going to trying to get into like the mechanical keyboard hobby? Yeah.
That's a good
If you're
question
into
because,
gaming, buy a Wu Ting.
if you really want to get into collecting keyboards, the first thing you should do is find what you like.
and find inheritance, you know.
I mean, it doesn't have to be that expensive to start, and you should not spend that money to start. No,
Kill
one-
your
the thing is that I
parents
think a
and
lot of
claim your
people-
inheritance now.
One thing that I think a lot of people do is that they end up buying a lot of budget keyboards, which is something you shouldn't do. If you really want to play around with keyboard, I recommend just buying one and then buying maybe a plate or two and playing one of it and finding what you like. Don't collect a lot of budget keyboards because the thing is that, yeah, it means, oh, I get buying more keyboards to build with, but the thing is,
You'll all be
chances are,
equally shit.
you're not gonna enjoy it more than your existing keyboard. It may not be that much different from your existing keyboard. Plus, if you want to sell it, people won't buy it because it's a budget keyboard. It's either not really gonna be that interesting for people to buy, or it's like you're not gonna end up using it for a long time. So
Humu.
find what you like, and then from there either save up to a keyboard you really want or explore the space and whatnot. Just take your time with it. I think a lot of people tend to rush nowadays, like so they get one keyboard. Like FOMO as well as decision fatigue is a big problem in this hobby. FOMO I think less so now because now there's a lot more affordable, a lot more budget, a lot more in-stock options. But I think it's decision fatigue is there. We
What's
have
a
too
good
much.
price range?
There is the general. I think the budget floor nowadays is like maybe $200 if you want to buy a keyboard, a custom keyboard. But there's no ceiling. I mean, I spent some insane amount of money.
Do
Like,
keycrons
I have
count like as budget?
Yeah, it is. I think Keychron is not bad at all. And then I like what Keychron's doing. But I mean, it's still kind of expensive, though. Like, there's still like what, $150, $160 for the base. Yeah, so just maybe $50. Caps another $50. That's still like $250 on a keyboard. Which people still find bizarre. Like, I've seen people like, why are you spending $250 on a keyboard that a $5 keyboard does the same thing?
$5 keyboard.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, personalization, typing experience, and just all that side. I don't think there's anything wrong with investing good money in a keyboard, especially if you're gonna use it for a very long time. It's just, yeah, just take your time with it and just slowly enjoy the hobby, lah. Don't cave into the fatigue, give in the FOMO. Just because something's available now, that doesn't mean that there will be more later on. I want people to be more aware of decision fatigue because I think that's a big of a problem right now in our hobby space, where there is too much to want, basically. There's too much things that you're like, hey, I want to get this for, and things like that. So yeah, it's just a matter of taking your time and just like going through it slowly. Don't rush and buy a lot of project keyboards. Because I know some people who bought like the Gyrus, and they bought the Geek 65, and they bought the Zoom 65. Just like, yeah, those three are basically the same. There's no point. Test around. If you have a local community, do try to approach them and see if you can get to try stuff. In Singapore especially, there's a lot of we have a lot of physical shops now that have keyboards to test. They can go Landing Pad, go Mecha Store. Those two, other than Mash, those are the two other big keyboard vendors in Singapore. They have physical retail spaces you can try stuff. That's why I recommend go and try yourself. Go ask around, learn a bit more before you make these purchases. I mean, they're still not cheap. Even a budget keyboard is still like $200 down. So don't buy things when you can't afford them. I know I've done that many times. Don't buy things when you can't afford them. There's always gonna be more to them, for sure. And don't hoard. Coming from a guy who has 2,000 switches, yeah, don't hoard. Don't hoard. You're gonna realize like, okay, what the fuck do I have so switches for?
So when's the keyboard gacha, Mr. Zena?
What?
When can we gacha for the keyboards? When are we gonna be able to whale? And then merge our duplicate keyboards to get a constellation.
I mean, I've joined Switch gachas before.
Do we get
like,
50 rolls?
No, you either. I remember there's one case where like the lowest option you could get was like some JWIG Black, and the highest option was like, I think Anubis Tactiles.
Oh, no,
that was fun. Which I got Anubis Tactiles. Those are nice.
Alright.
But yeah, just take your time. Don't overspend what you can spend. Don't rush to buy so many budget keyboards. Don't give in to the FOMO and just take your time to decide. Because right now, the thing is, Singapore is very hyped and a lot of things kind of sell through social media. Like you'll hear about, oh, this is the best budget keyboard right now, and next one, oh, this is the best one, and that feeling of like I made the wrong choice is very prevalent. Nothing wrong. If you like what you like, just go with it. Nothing wrong with that. Don't put tomato ketchup in your keyboard as well. That doesn't help.
Oh yeah, definitely. No. It's for lubing your switches.
Yeah.
It's biodegradable lube, so it's good for the environment.
Yeah.
I know someone who tried on a whole loop before.
Oh god.
It didn't work. It got ready for a while.
Yup. Alright.
Did it work?
No, it didn't work.
Damn it! So close.
I heard people preferring Vaseline. Please don't do that.
Okay. Why shouldn't you use dielectric grease for your switches?
Because it's too thick.
Okay.
It will cause the switches to not properly return.
Let's see. Okay. And if I were to get a GMMK96, a GMMK296, but then I decide not to get a GMMK296 because it's by Glorious, what can I get that is not a GMMK296?
Specifically at 96% layout.
Yeah.
I believe now there's a 96% layout by Keychron. I think.
But it's not a perfect
You have one,
rectangle like I want it.
Aku also done so much of that, much stuff like that.
I
there's also
wolf
this
my
stuff.
perfect rectangles.
You know what's popular nowadays? Not the 1800 layout is more popular.
Yeah.
There's still the Melody 96, which is I think is still on AliExpress. Yeah.
Alright. And
There's just matters in this keyword space. They change really, really fast. But again, I tell people just don't rush into it. Just take your time and enjoy it. But like me, I didn't actually expand my collection until 2021. I think those like after 4 years in the space, I was like, okay, I know what I like. And over the whole 2022, I was like, okay, bought, buy. Because I knew what I liked already. And I do enjoy all my keyboards. They all get equal use. Although my favorite child right now is the W180.
You're all my favorite. You especially.
Dude, this board, I mean, it's the board that's on my desk. This board was like, this board was like the board I built for my debut stream actually. Yeah. But the best thing also, this board went completely haywire. I don't even tell you this, but because this playlist, you can actually see that some of the switches are currently crooked, like this Y. And I think the F also. And I also, because I was drunk, I was building this. So I was holding the switches in, and they were all like crooked all over the place. And it was just like an absolute mess. But yeah, that was all
right. My favorite layout is the Core 2 layout.
The what?
The Core 2 layout. You know, QWERTU. And then it's YIOK.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not drunk, I swear.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
All right.
Wait, Zena, have you tried to make a keyboard in alphabetical order?
Oh yeah, the ABCDEF layout.
Why hasn't anyone done that already?
Oh no, they have.
It just seems like the most logical thing.
No.
to do.
Search for alpha linear keyboards.
What?
Alpha linear keyboard. And then go to the image results, and I'm pretty sure there's like one in there that's like ABC.
I've only ever seen one, and that was like in the Build-A-Bear workshop.
Okay, alright. I wanted to search for like ortholinear keyboards, but I forgot. So I just searched alpha linear keyboard, and the first result that popped up was this. Wait, no, not that.
Oh god, I see it.
Wait, give me a second. This.
Non-stream.
What do you mean not on stream?
Oh, okay, there it.
Why is it available from Walmart Canada?
I don't know, but you know what? I'm not gonna question it. Alright, you know what? Okay, so it has been 2 hours and a quarter of an hour since we started.
My throat actually hurt. I've been talking for so long.
Thank you for
Keyboard
carrying.
Sensei.
Yeah, thank you for carrying like a majority of this lecture. Has been an honor having you.
I'm more happy to just talk about keyboards. If you just want to talk to me about stuff, I also do commissions right now. Please, I need money, please.
Yeah, so Zena is currently holding commissions.
I wonder why.
Yeah,
I just find I have my money, but like.
All right, next time we should get Eugene D on here so you can like, argue about like I don't know which is
someone who
better,
actually
Alice
knows
or.
keyboards rather than the dumb me who bought a mechanical keyboard and went, you know, this is fine.
I like to think I know a lot about keyboards. I have like an entire cabinet full of just like keyboard supplies. But as someone who actively uses and enjoys kill box crystals, I don't think my opinions are valid.
I mean, that's if you like,
as someone who likes clickies, I don't think I deserve rights. But well,
yeah, you don't. You definitely
don't worry. If I get a Jade, I'm gonna put clickies in it. I will. I have to. That's the way I still have to raise the keyboard. I'm gonna harvest the greens out.
Harvest.
Oh Christ.
Yep.
All right. So with that being said, last Do y'all have any last messages? I'll go first. Keychron, please make an ortholinear keyboard ASAP AP. Thank you. If you ever see this.
I think they actually have one in play.
You mean ASAP AP? You mean ABCD?
Yes, please make the EBEC def the main layout for all your keyboards from now on. That's A B
Please
C
do.
D E F.
Please, I'm too retarded to use Quarry. I still can't type without looking down.
Amazing.
I have the words per minute of a trio.
You are a 3-year-old.
Oh, you're right. I am a trio.
I think
You're
they're,
like
I think they're doing a I know usually did a 40%, so it's not too far for them to do a auto linear.
Yeah, but it's not ortholinear, so.
So what's a 1% keyboard?
Like the ISO board or something, which it's just literally just the ISO key or something.
All right, so with that being said, I believe it is high time for.
Wait, one final question. What's the world's smallest keyboard?
Oh yeah, the butter stick.
The
There's
butter
a
stick?
thing.
Have you
Yeah,
guys ever heard of the
literally
butter
just-
stick?
What?
The butter stick. Okay, so the butter stick is basically this keyboard that that fits in your pocket. It's like a. Okay, how do I put this?
So a phone? So Blueberry?
No, more like okay. You know what? Give me just
It's
a
a
sec.
keyboard with 20 keycaps on it. 20 keys on it. That's it. You have
Okay,
to press
so
keys in a specific way to type.
about this.
Wait, isn't it one of those things where people use to type in chords?
No.
Those are also stenographs. There's actually a whole hobby for that.
Are there like stenograph keyboards?
So this is the butter
There are
stick.
actually.
Hello, Zara Kill VT. Thanks for the hydrate and posture check. I will be getting a glass of Coca-Cola right after the stream ends.
Why hasn't someone made like a stenograph keyboard?
Oh, what's up,
yet?
Zara?
People have actually.
Oh yeah,
the
they
whole
have.
hobby is for stenographs actually. Yeah,
Shee.
it's quite popular.
Have they ever overlapped with the keyboard hobbyist?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I know people talk
This is
about how to
fun.
use it before.
Can you type on the stenograph?
I've never tried.
No.
But not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind trying someday.
Oh, why the fuck did they say VT? Fuck you. Look. I pronounce the full name of everyone who comes in here. Actually, no, I don't. But look. Zara, here's the thing.
He did it to target you, specifically you.
Here's the thing. I have Zena VT on my fucking stream right now. Full name Zena VT. Yeah, I don't want the user here. Shh. Okay, cool.
Am
Understand.
I Risu
Have a nice
VT
day.
now?
No, you're nothing. You're no one to me.
No.
I'm just here to talk about keyboards, don't mind me.
So I have Zena and I have Zara. All right. I have Zena VT and I have Zara VT.
Hello.
Alright, final question. How much have you spent?
Mhm.
In total?
You're gonna look. I'm ending stream soon, Zara. What the fuck? So how much did you spend?
Hold on.
How much have you spent in this hobby in total?
Slightly outdated because I haven't mentioned this. 8.7k SGD. My bad.
Excuse me?
11.5k. My bad.
$11,500 on
SGD. Yeah.
on keyboards.
Is it? No, I'm not updated yet, but about there. Yeah.
That's like that's like 2 solid semesters of my school fees. Maybe 3 if I try hard enough. 3.
So if I look at my spreadsheet right now, I spend 3.9k USD on keyboards, 2.7k USD on keycaps, 260 USD on artisans, 1,000 USD on switches, and $50 on test mats.
I'm
Level
gonna
collect
I'm gonna get dysentery. I'm,
I mean, it's still kind of low figures, like with some people I know.
low
It's-
No figures.
I know someone was spending like
Excuse
25K or
me.
something like that. Yeah. Someone was spending like no, it was like 25K.
unbelievable. This is not okay. Fuck.
On
There-
purpose.
$10,000 on keyboard. I've spent less on my mind and I've been playing for 7 years, Zena.
But my mind, I mean, okay. The reason why, because I am an addict. But okay, to be fair, I have sold a lot of stuff over the time. So this was my total spent over time, but
How much you
I have
made
sold
back?
stuff.
What's your net
obviously not a
profit?
lot,
What's
lah. I
your
only
net
sold-
net
Obviously
spend?
not a lot, lah. I only sold
Sure.
stuff I don't use anymore. Like I sold my Bakanekos, I sold my GK65, I sold my other stuff. I trade sometimes also, but like those are like my spreadsheet. My raw spent is 8.1.
You know what? No, Zara's right. You're doing this on purpose. I swear to fucking God, you're doing this on purpose. On my life.
Okay, no, it's a money sink, lah. But this is again, I've been in this hobby for 5 years, so
Just
It-
5 years. You spent 11K in 5 years.
You spend 2K per year on just keyboards.
I mean, yeah, this is like my hobby. I don't really explore any hobbies except now I'm getting into photography, so you know.
Oh Christ,
That's
no,
enough of
photography
it.
is an entire boy. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I have a spreadsheet even to see. I think it's
On my
but
life.
I mean, it's this is like my main money sink, so this is why I do. Like, spend all the years I just buy keyboards. I don't really buy anything else.
On my fucking life.
Not even gacha.
Not even gacha? You play
I don't will
Genshin.
gacha games. I don't will ever.
You know who else plays Genshin?
Yourself?
Risu. So have you gotten El Hytham yet?
No, I'm skipping him. I'm rolling for Yelan.
Okay, fair. How about you, Risu? Have you gotten El
Base.
Hytham?
Yeah, I don't will in gacha games. I never like wailing gacha games ever. Like it's just
True.
I'm actually I just wail on keyboards and wail on gacha.
He's wailing on keyboard. He did participate in the keyboard gacha, so you know what?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's
okay,
fair.
but
That's
in the end-
base.
in the end, I'm a collector.
That's
like,
base.
I really do like enjoy this hobby. I do like collecting. I do like all this stuff lah. I don't mind it at all because it is what I'm most interested in. The one thing that I am right now that I've been thinking about for the last several months, for a long time, that I have on my Discord, I have a bounty list, and it's stuff that I've been wanting to chase down since I started the hobby.
How
So the
interested
one
would
people
you
I'm chasing
be
down-
in
Sorry.
how interested would you be in talking to someone else who also likes mechanical keyboards, like
Oh, I
to
would
an
love to.
unhealthy extent?
I would love to.
Should we
you
get
gotta get
him and
Eugene next
Eugene?
time.
We gotta get him on Eugene D.
Yeah,
next
we have
time,
to get
right?
him in Eugene.
Yeah, and then we
There's
just
no
like
way.
list out like a bunch of like really controversial topics, like which is better, Alice or Awful Linear? Or like,
The question is that obviously Alice is actually usable.
oh boy,
Oh.
which is better, U4Ts or Zelios?
U4Ts because they're not $1.70 a switch.
You know what? No, okay, wrong question. U4Ts or Holy Pandas? Yeah, that one.
Holy pandas. But I haven't really had a long time experience with U4Ts. I did build my friend's Zoom the other day with with his U4Ts, and it was actually quite nice.
Oh, I gifted
So
a
next time I can
friend.
operate add U4Ts to my collection.
I wanted my U4Ts, but then I gave them to my friend, so now I only have the silent version. But the silent version is not bad.
Does anyone want to see some glorious pandas that I don't want to use? It's still in my jaw after all this time. It's just been like sitting there.
All right. With that being said, I believe it is high time we gave your throat a rest and brought you back another time for a very intense discussion on mechanical keyboards. So, that is. The
I will
end of-
remember this episode forever.
Yeah, this is certainly one
Sorry
of
for
the.
exposing you to my degeneracy.
No, it's okay.
Out
This was one
of
of
all the
best
Torisu
episodes.
Talks episode,
This is one of
this
them.
is certainly one of them.
For sure, for sure. You could even
Yes,
say that this
one
is
of the
like-
most episodes we've ever had.
Yeah, this is one. This is an episode.
Indeed.
One episode of all time, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, one of the episodes of all time. With that being said, I will be sending
Hi guys,
them
please
to.
don't get the keyboards. Don't become like me. Please help me. I'm so I won't joke about it, but 10k is a lot of money. Like,
It do be a lot of money.
Yeah, I think I can afford like 1/10 of COE prices.
7 keyboard stuff. Like I literally have like just a wall for like my keyboards. I have a cupboard just for my keycaps. I have switch just like freaking everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, I have them in
I
like
found
one
switches on my
cabinet in
bed.
my-
Under my bed,
Oh,
I found
jeez.
switches. Like, why are you there?
Right. Next I will be raiding Sinkerin, who happens to be playing Monster
Live
Hunter
rock
Rise.
reaction.
Live rock reaction for real. He also plays a lot of rhythm games, but you know that's inconsequential, and
Oh, yeah.
I do not care about the rhythm
Have
games right now.
you played festival yet? In my mind.
Oh yeah, it's festival already today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with
I
that
was
being said,
9.3k. I got down to 6.8k.
oh god, I need to check later tomorrow. Okay. With that being said, I will be rating our dear Indonesian Froggy. See you guys in a bit. Stay shining.
Stay
Yeah.
shining.
And
What's it done?
remember,
Don't get the keyboards.
feet.
Feet.
Wait.
That reminds me of like I bought someone's laser set 80 and the feet went missing.
Wait,
that was
what?
wonderful.
You can't even say that on the stream's ending, man. It's gonna be so like, there's no context to